Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream as we are currently going at this moment in time. I actually got to shut down my OBS because seemingly I got some things running in the background on over time. So before I get into the rest of the video, this is just one of the things that I wanted to cover, and this had to deal with the weather phenomena, the tornado that took place. And this was some of the footage that took place on the roadways directly out there. And as you can see, that traffic is clearly backed up because you have the selfish few out there that decided to endanger the many. Now, some may wonder, well, Seji, what do you mean? If there's a storm like a tornado, why wouldn't you want people to park themselves directly underneath, a roadway for a type of safety? Well, we have certain rules and regulations dealing with that. Right below, if you can just so happen to see, it says why overpasses are dangerous during a tornado. Number one, wind tunnel effect. The shape of the overpass can channel wind, increasing wind speeds and creating a wind tunnel effect. Number two, increased debris. Tornadoes generate debris, and the wind tunnel effect can channel these debris towards the under the sorry and under the overpass, posing a serious threat. Number three, elevated position. Overpasses are higher than the surrounding area, increasing the likelihood of being struck by debris and the potential of structural damage. Number four, lack of protection. Many overpasses lack substantial supports or features that would offer protection from debris or wind. Number five, potential for bridge failure. The bridge itself could be damaged or even collapse during a violent tornado. Next, they have safer alternatives. Number one, ditches or ravines. If no other options are available, lie low in a ditch or a ravine to avoid flying debris. Number two, low lying areas. If a ditch or ravine is not accessible, find a low lying area away from the road, right? So we were able to hear that, able to see that directly in front of us, while also paying very close attention to the people that are clearly blocking the roads. I want to just clearly state that the people who are clearly being selfish and blocking the road are the most dangerous people directly out there. The rest of these people who are just sitting directly back there, they could have been miles and miles away from whatever danger is directly out there. They could have tried to speed as far as they can, but they're stuck. They have to sit there and possibly just wait because the dumb few decided I'm going to hold up traffic because I'm afraid to move and I want to protect myself. And I think that this is the safest option. And again, I'm not even a driver at all. And I know that you don't sit under a bridge. That is the worst possible place that you could be at this moment in time. And then on top of that, for you to hold up traffic and to potentially endanger the lives of what I can at least by eye shot hundreds of people, crazy, crazy work. Like I said, any of those people, I'm not sure how they will be able to identify those cars or those people holding up traffic. They should be jailed. They should be 100% jailed because that's insanity. That is insanity. So now we're going to go directly to this wonderful picture here, which has to do with the matter of fact, I'll put it to the other one and come back to this one, right? I'm going to go to this image here, which has to do with the burning of, the plantation that, people, Caucasian, were quite angry about online. And still, for the life of me, I don't even understand why there are so many Caucasians quite angry about this crazy work, because you would have thought that they would have had some invested in this and maybe they would have had some money in this or something like that. That's more than likely not the case, but yet they are angry. So this is just a little bit of information that somebody posted. They said the largest antebellum mansion in the South, dating back to 1859, has been destroyed by a fire, and the hashtag slaves that built the place are now free and truly resting. The Nottoway Plantation is one of the largest historic mansions In the South, it is located on the famous River Road between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. The mansion, which sits on 31 acres, is known for its massive white columns and grand balconies that overlook the Mississippi River. On the other side, three-story rotunda overlook the lawns dotted with large oak trees. The oldest tree on that property is about 162 years of age, about the same age as the mansion, according to Nanway uh, Rester websites. It's also a piece of hashtag American history that stirs debate and dark memories. The plantation was once owned by John Hampton Rudolph, a sugar planter. The 64-room, 53,000 square foot property was added to the National Registry of Historic Places in 1980s. The fire of Nottoway Plantation in White Castle, LA, just outside of Baton Rouge. Just outside of Baton Rouge, broke out around 2 p.m. on Thursday, May 15th, and reduced the 160-year-old landmark to rubble. It's believed that slaves built the home by 1860. I'm sorry, instead of Rudolph, it was Randolph. Randolph owned 155 enslaved black persons who helped maintain the plantation during the Civil War. Nottoway Plantation was able to avoid any major damage. Its early history is undeniably tied to the time of great injustice. Personally, I don't have any remorse that this place is gone. And that was from BMB, Empowerment Network. So, like I said, and as you guys, some of you guys are able to see and read directly in front of you, you have the plantation clear cut on fire, and shambles is done. It is probably never going to be coming back. And underneath that, I decided to place some of the comments from a lot of the Caucasian individuals that were there. And some of the comments, I'm not sure if you guys are technically able to see them or catch them. I'm going to read off to you. One person said, there you go. Well, for the first one, there's y'all's reparations. I got to zoom this in actually quite a bit. Another person said, if you had owned it, you would be mortified. Destruction of private property shouldn't be celebrated. The slave owners are all gone, along with all of their grandparents. It's time to build, not destroy. Right? Another person said, never should have brought the blacks to this land. Slaves are not the biggest mistake in United States history. Another one said, just keep that going for y'all. Let me just replay that. Yep. Another person said, no, the slaves are rolling over in their graves with black fatigue, right? It's the brand new catchphrase, favorite word of today for Caucasians, because they got rid of, it can't say affirmative action anymore, doesn't exist. Can't say really DEI anymore, doesn't really exist. They still try to say woke, but they overuse it to the point where they're tired of it, so they moved on to another word, black fatigue. Right. Another person said the stupidity and ignorance amongst the black community never ceases to amaze me. Another person said, what slave or slavery? You erased your own history. No more evidence. I mean, this is what also books are for, right? Another person said, so a piece of history was lost. Whether you like history or not doesn't change the fact it happened. Celebrate losing pieces of history accomplishes nothing in reality. Another person said, disgusting. As we often say, blacks only celebrate destruction. They don't create. All right. Another person said, please tell us more about the pain of slavery. I'm guessing some tax dollars will make it better, right? Referring to reparations. Another person, let me see if I might have to try to zoom this. Got to make this a little bit bigger for me. Another person says, centuries of pain. It was built in 1850. The Civil War ended in 1865 with the Emancipation Proclamation. This is a building. Don't mix up evil people with a building. It's beautiful and a look back at the past, be it good or bad. Crazy work. The justification of anything is crazy. Another person says, such a tragic loss in American history. The architecture, the hard work to preserve it, and the reminder of why you're here and able to be free and ignorant today. These slaves work so you could be a jack expletive today, but you're not smart enough to realize it. Another person said, you're such a expletive, your fellow expletive, these are actually slurs that the person is writing, but I'm just going to say expletive, sold you, owned you, still are enslaving you, yet you celebrate something historic that white people built. Eat expletive, right? Crazy work. And I promise you, all of these people are Ted Nugent fans and Republicans. Another person said, if this country is so intolerable to them, they can get their expletive on a plane to Africa. They are free now. Nobody's keeping them. Woo, that's how you can already tell how people are as soon as they try to tell people, oh, go back to Africa. These people are old. I'm talking about like 60s. They are up there, right? Another person said, and what about the black slave owners? Question mark. Once you look at the IQ levels, you'll start to understand why you blacks, you black people, act like the children you are. Your brains are not capable of understanding just hate and violence. This is exactly why the white hooded organization was right the whole time. The craziest part that I love about this is the rewriting of history and the notion that in order for there to be a right and a wrong, they're like, yeah, obviously the most violent individuals on this whole planet are blacks, right? The whites, we just create, we just build, we're peaceful, we do nothing, we don't even cause war, we don't have disagreements, we do nothing out here, we don't have a violent bone in our body, but their history says otherwise. And it's crazy how people want to overlook that. And not even to mention the fact that while we're talking about this plantation burning down, notice how a lot of these Caucasians out here, when they want to be angry, rah rah rah, and they want to talk about slavery and stuff, notice how they don't want to mention the breeding farms that they had for their black slaves and the things that specifically went on in those stables. It's crazy how they don't want to bring up that history, right? They want to talk about everything else, but they don't want to talk about the real horrors. They don't want to get, down and dirty like they've always done. It's crazy work. Crazy work. But it'd be like that. Another person said, and now they will build some Section 8 ghetto housing on the property. Well done, idiot. The craziest part about people always talking about Section 8, I happen to like to refer to the Appalachians and also the trailer parks. Oddly enough, a lot of them seem to think that they don't have some type of housing structure directly out there that is below the poverty line or at the poverty line. It's some crazy work. Because the one thing that a lot of them don't want to talk about the Caucasians directly in the Appalachians. They're not trying to do that. They're not trying to talk about that at all. Diabolical work. Hold on. My bad. That was Officer Haku. Where was that? Yeah, they got, again, they have their own, subpar, type of structures and all this other type of stuff. And you have Caucasians that segregate amongst themselves, have disagreements, don't like each other, and fight and all this other type of stuff. But have them rewrite history and tell the story. They're nothing but peaceful angels that God placed onto this earth in order to qualm the madness and the chaos, right? That's how they always like to put it and portray it. Last but not least, somebody said the Negro is terrible regardless of how you view this. They never amounted to anything, even on their own continent. Here in America, We ended slavery and we go above duty to comfort the Negro, and yet resentment is the only thing we get back. Segregate permanently from the Negro. Who started slavery here again? Who has the history of bringing people on boats, even though we can never seem to find them? Out of all of the artifacts that we have, for whatever reason, and that they happen to take care of, for whatever reason, they never took care of the boats that they brought all of these slaves on. We can't really find or see them at all. It's crazy, diabolical in nature. I think at one moment in time they might have been able to find Noah's Ark. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but for whatever reason, when they deal with these slave ships, we don't really got nothing. I mean, they can seemingly find the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean, and they can magically find some other Spanish ships with gold doubloons at the bottom of the ocean. But when it deals with those ships, we don't really got hide nor hair, of those ships. I'm just saying, it's a little bit weird, a little bit interesting, but it'd be like that. It'd be like that, It's crazy how people cause things and then they act like, well, we did do it, but in the same vein, we also got rid of slavery too. So we're going to clap it up for ourselves because you weren't going to do it. How were we? It's crazy work. Diabolical. But yeah, those breeding farms though, crazy work. But now we're going to go to these comments directly here. Now I got to flip to another. Let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit for you guys so you can see some of the comments from the great true Americans directly out here and how it is that they want to speak directly on Black individuals. Right now, I get some people are going to say, but Black is not a color, it's death by. I'm not trying to even deal with that. You got that, right? So the caption of it is that all they know is destruction and hatred of whites, right? So obviously somebody Caucasian in nature, or obviously somebody non-Black, saw this image of these Black women watching the burning of this plantation and them celebrating. And for whatever reason, they internalize that as stating that this is proof that Black people hate white people. And I'm like, where did you get that from? Huh? I'm like, what mental gymnastics? How does this dictate that these three women, for the person that made the whole thing, how does this dictate that these three women hate you or your family? They don't even know you exist. They exist by way of social media and them posting a photo. But because you have such immense hatred for them and you tend to fantasize and envision this type of like love and whatnot or whatever when it deals with the plantation and antebellum South, you think that this automatically dictates or signifies a hatred towards you and your people. That's crazy. That's a lot of projection. That's some mental gymnastics. Like I said, I've never. It's crazy. Anyways, let's go to some of the comments. One of the people said there are so many expletives. No wonder. What? No. Okay, they said they are so expletive. No wonder white men don't expletive them. And I want y'all to play a word of a game of figure it out, because I want y'all to understand. Because there's a nice grouping out there that like to publicize a lot of these types of guys who are in the comment section, specifically speaking on these Black women. There's a nice grouping, and that nice grouping will never actually showcase comments like that when it refers to Black women. And it's like, I wonder why. And this is why I continuously try to tell a lot of people out there, I'm like, you may think that somebody is nice, you may think that they're interested in you, but they're really not. They're going to tell you in so many words, especially online, using anonymity and all this other type of, they're going to tell you exactly how it is that they see you directly as a Black woman. But, I'm crazy. Whatever I say, it doesn't matter because Black men do worse and statistically speaking. And right. So next we got Blacks will find out eventually that white patience has its limits. Limits on what? What are you talking about? So a slave plantation, slave house, whatever, was burnt down, And you're talking about you're about to get, rage and angry for what? Did you have an invested interest? Did you have like some stocks and bonds? Did you have like some gold bars or something directly in there? Like what was really happening for you to, talk about this fictitious rage that is seething from your soul, what or lack thereof? Like, what are we talking about here? That's crazy. Another person said, send them back. That's just a classic. Those Caucasians, send them back. Funny. Another person said, stop feeding them. That always works. And I want black people to understand that whenever you hear them talk about stop feeding, they're referring to black people being in zoos. If you don't know about black people being in zoos, you may want to do your research. I've done some videos and also showcase pictures of that as well. I think, what was it, the Bronx, Brooklyn, quite a few places in the United States, they had zoos where specifically white Americans would go and they would visit black people as caged animals. Right? It's another piece of history that white America does not want to happen to, talk about or bring up in history books. Interesting how that works. Another person said, tell me they didn't start the fire. That would make me blind with rage. What? What are you even talking about? Again, this is another person. This is a male. This is a Caucasian male. This is somebody who is non-black talking about, oh yeah, they're this type of action is really going to enrage them. Enrage you to do what? Enrage you to do what? What you've always done historically to black women? Is that what you're referring to? Because I can't imagine anything else that you would be doing, right? Another person said they're about to, quote unquote, know a completely different side of whites. No, historically speaking, we know all sides. That's the one beautiful thing I love about history, and especially when it deals with Caucasians. You guys literally write down your own history, even some of the most violent parts. Now, you might omit a lot of things, but some of you guys will actually keep things quite current. Actually decide to tell somewhat of a full story instead of a whole bunch of lies mixed in with not even a percent of truth, right? But that's crazy work, though. That's diabolical to make it seem as though that we've only seen one side of you. No, the whole world has seen all sides of you, as a matter of fact, as well, too. You can't overwrite that history unless you plan on restarting civilization, the whole planet, and there's only a few ways to do that. But I'm not sure if you're ready to go to that extent as of yet. Right. And then they said a toothpaste they will never be able to put back in the bottle. Okay. Next person said, this isn't so bad knowing the United States will be gone in 10 years. What? What are you even talking about? So, because of this moment, you now decided to state that it doesn't matter. United States isn't going to exist in 10 years. So out of all of this time that the United States existed, something, because you're some type of like foreseer, right? You're Miss Cleo, call me now for your psychic tarot card reading, right? And you're like, the United States ain't gonna be here in 10 years. I mean, the Simpsons have predicted along with other places, and even the Simpsons has been wrong. So what makes you so right? And it's crazy that you're in a sense just like, it's whatever about the United States. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird. Another one said a bunch of orcs. Now, again, for the black women out there, these are Caucasian males speaking negatively about 3 black women, of which they don't know. The black women don't know them. They don't know the black women, but this is how they want to describe them. And this is, again, you have those out there, the divestors, who are not going to specifically talk about how it is that these men will deem, treat, and see and speak about black women on social media. They're not going to sit up there and show off that, because it's going to jack up the narrative of Prince Charming, the knight in shining armor, coming to save me and make my day better and all this other type of stuff. Another one said, call the zoo. Diabolical. Another person said, are these the culprits that started the fire? Right? Because black people always have to be criminals. Crazy word. Another one said, let them destroy themselves. Another person said, blacks create by destroying. Right. And there were many other comments directly underneath this thread that men like this were stating about black women. Crazy work. Diabolical work, how that tends to happen, how that tends to take place. But yet, these are the same people that say that we have so much animosity and hatred and so on and so on and so on when it deals with them. But every single time that I happen to see any type of, either a video or even a thread or a picture, this is what they want to say about black people. But more specifically, in this instance, this is how they see, deem, and treat black women online. And like I said, those other, channels directly out there, those other social media individuals who want to try to paint the narrative like, oh, these are the greatest people, they really care for black guy. Okay. They're not going to sit up there and show you everything. They're going to show you one portion and let you figure out the rest if you get caught up. It'd be like that. They're going to leave you to hang out and drive, right? So we got Brandon V World. What is up? What is up? What is up? Said my bad calling you during your live. LOL. No problem, brother. It is no problem. No problem. No problem. I was deciding if I was going to go live or not. Then I was like, I'm going to decide to go live and see what is happening. Talk to people and mention some stuff. Yo, third eye, what is up? You said the only side we ever seen from them is them minding their own business collectively. That is a point. That is a point. Right. And then underneath the exact same thread and or video, you had this individual here. I tried to get a snapshot directly of the photo. You can obviously see that he's not black. So I'm not trying to hear nobody tell me anything. And this is the one reason that you can actually see his name, because his account got suspended. It be like that. It literally happened as soon as I was reading the comment. Crazy work, right? He said, start packing for the long boat ride back to Africa. And this is when I clearly state that I need ICE to be called. I'm just going to sit up there and just be honest. Somebody like him who wants to be racist, who wants to say this type of thing to black Americans, send him back. Send him back. I might sound very conservative, very Republican, but I mean exactly what it is that I say. If you're going to decide to be online, you're going to be racist towards black Americans, and you're going to openly do this, go back to where it is that you came from. You and your family. Just saying. Just saying. But yep, he got suspended on X. It'd be like that. I didn't even expect it. X is supposed to be a platform where people got freedom of speech. I guess freedom really ain't free. It's crazy work. Diabolical. So now I want to go to a different video. A business. This one is dealing with again, because we did have a live stream before, but it went awry. Because I actually had a point to bring up with the whole thing of DDG and everything like that. And the main thing that I was trying to bring up to people is the fact that nobody's paying attention to how the media, instead of paying attention to everything else that is going on, they're like, okay, we got some very important things, but we don't really want people to know what's going on. We're just going to throw the blacks up there and everybody will be distracted. The blacks will be distracted. The Latins will be distracted. The whites will be distracted. Everybody will be distracted, right? And that's what they did. So they gave you what? Diddy court case. That's like 8 weeks. The DDG situation, right? That's going to be for quite some time. The Tory Lane situation, that's going to be going on for quite some time. And now we got Chris Brown, who is in Paris at this moment in time, or in the UK, so somewhere over there in Europe. And he is in jail for an altercation that took place at a nightclub. And I think I might be missing somebody else, but that was my main point when it dealt with the types of news and the media directly out there, and trying to tell people like, yo, you gotta, instead of being locked inside of a box, you gotta look outward. You gotta look outward, because in a lot of instances, the government and the media work hand in hand, and they will sit up there and do what they need to do in order to keep distracted. Like I told people for years now, literally years, I said the Coliseum is open, and it is full throttle, right? But going back to the whole DDG situation, because we had what was that woman named Far East? I'll probably cut the portion where she was talking, where she came directly into the live stream, and I'll have that uploaded for y'all a little bit later on. But we had a woman by the name of Far East that came directly up, and she wanted to speak her piece, basically defending Haley, right? And we're going to listen to this woman and what she stated about her point of view from the 52 pages dealing with Haley, right? So let's listen.
But a lot of y'all told me to read this 52-page document that Halle Bailey wrote out, and I read it, and it's full of yeah. See, this is the thing. Y'all don't know how to read. Y'all don't know how to read. And when I say read, y'all comprehension levels is low. If somebody says in a court document that she is mad because DDG talks to his online community, right? It was okay for her to do the same on Twitter when she didn't want Halo on Cashapp stream. So in all actuality, all that part is saying is that she is mad because the public are siding with DDG because they want to see DDG with his son more. She is pissed that we want to see DDG be a father. Okay, boom, cancel that out because you doing the same shit. Now, let's get to the physical allegations part. I find it funny that she didn't say that DDG attacked me. She never said DDG attacked me. You know what she said? She said, we wrestled. Why are you wrestling? Who initiated this wrestling, Halle? Why are you not saying who initiated what? You're saying physical violence, and you're blaming him for the physical violence, but all I see on you is defensive restraining marks on your arms. Then you got this story about you putting Halo in the car seat. How the you go from putting a baby car seat in the back right here to him slamming your face into the... So what'd you do? You walked around the car and started doing what? Trying to hit him or something? Because, like, nothing you're saying is telling me that he initiated any violence. It's a lot of inconsistencies in Halle's report, bro. And I don't know. Again, a lot of y'all trained to hate men. But, hey, I don't hate men. I'm looking at this from a real perspective, bro. You're not finna tell me that somebody's abusing you and you're not saying that he actually attacked you. You're saying you're wrestling and the wrestling stopped when you stopped. So who's fighting, Halle? You? Okay, let's go to another part. This the part that got me the most, bro. This the part that got me the most. She says Daryl will not cooperate with her set schedule, with her lawyers, with what she wants. Daryl threatened 50-50 custody of me with no child support, saying that he wants equal time with Halo. This is why she's in court. She's a selfish... What kind of threatens get mad and feel threatened because a nigga say they want joint custody? That's just wicked. And she's trying to keep her black son from his black father. I don't put that... That's just weird. Break this shit down for real. I need y'all women to start using y'all brains, bro. Y'all keep trying to act like just because a woman say something, it's the truth. We just literally watched some more evidence come out and make it even more so true that Megan Thee Stallion lied on Tory Lanez to spare her friend that she betrayed. Make it make sense. I don't trust nothing no bitch on Rock Nation say. I don't give a bro. I don't trust it. 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 Especially when you make claims like this saying it was domestic violence against you, but in the report, you never said this attacked you. You never said this slapped you up. You never said he whooped you. All you saying is to try to give yourself some public sympathy, and that's the same shit you did before. You weaponized your postpartum depression to use control over him, bro. This just want 50-50 with his kid. What the fuck are we talking about? In the moment she said when she stopped fighting, the fighting stopped. She stopped the fighting stopped. She's the one fighting. Use your brains, bro.
So you heard that. And that's the main thing that I've stated before. That's the main thing that other people, other content creators who are of the exact same age range and who have been around DDG have also stated as well. That this is just an attempt to control and to take away parental rights from DDG, who was a black father who was actually there. And you have a lot of women directly out there that will try to get on and they'll be like, oh, well, the whole main thing even still is like, even if black men have the kids, they just pass them off to the women in their families and they're not even actually there and all this other type of yada, yada, yada. Who said that? Where do you even get that from? So what's the stats directly on that of that happening and taking place? Because I can sit up there and tell you that I've seen fields of black women, both older, younger, whatever. As soon as they have kids, they're passing those kids on to their parents and to their grandparents and to their aunts to sit up there and take care of, to sit up there and manage. And you know what those women are out there doing? Oh, they're going on a date. Oh, they're taking a girls trip. Oh, they're out there living their lives. But yet you could have lived your life if you decided not to open your legs to a guy that you didn't want to commit to and that did not want to commit to you. It could have all been very much simple. But as I told people before, nobody wants to listen. Here we are. Here we are. It's like I said, it's some crazy work. It's crazy work. And I'm with Third Eye said, yeah, she said trust no Rock Nation. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, I'm there. I believe that 100%. 100%. Sham said yes, and she's taking away his rights for a petty reason. They have a falling out because people wanted to see the father with his son more on TV. And and that's the other thing too. I'm glad you let me highlight that. I'm glad you highlighted that, Sham, because that's another important aspect that I wasn't able to even reach at the moment of time during the previous live stream. The one thing that I've talked about on this platform countless times is the fact that out of all of social media and normal media, you have a severe lack of black father representation where you see black fathers spending time with their kids, and that's done on purpose. All of these corporations who they got like psychologists that analyze a lot of things, they got script writers and all this, so they know what effect things are going to have before they put them and give them directly to us. This is why I sit up there and say that when it deals with advertisement and everything like that, you're going through psychological warfare, right? You're going through a certain type of conditioning. For me to see a lot of this stuff, it's not really going to work because my mind is at a certain place. When it deals with the younger generation who are not prepped, who are not used to it, where that type of warfare can just really seep in and just do whatever it is that it wants to do, yeah, it's going to do a lot of harm. It's going to do a tremendous amount of harm. This is why I bring up such shows. I think it was like MTV, VH1, or whatever it is, where you had the girls that were like 16 and getting pregnant, and they had the pregnancy pack and all this other type of stuff. Yeah, those shows like that, they did a detriment to society in both ways. But it also did something that they wanted to happen, right? Number one, it was detrimental because it was profiting off of the fact of young girls out here, teenagers, having unprotected relations with teenage boys and then having a pregnancy. But the other thing that they wanted to happen by spreading that type of negative message is that they wanted a type of population boom. Even if it's a short one, they wanted a type of population boom to, just basically happen. And that did take place, right? Because if we look at the population now, it is slowly going down to a negative. It's looking pretty much close to the Asians, to the Japanese. It's right in there, and in certain extents, it's looking like that with the European population as well too. But back to what I was saying before, you have lack of representation of black fathers, and again, that is done on purpose. They will make sure because people don't want to pay attention. So I'll put it to you like this: no matter what show that you happen to look at, I'm not going to say no matter, but out of a lot of the shows that you look at, they will make sure to always show you a black woman being the quote unquote strong, the independent, right? Having the angry moments, doing everything by herself, being the woman and the man, and also potentially even being a single mother, taking care of the whole house, the bills, and all of that. They'll make sure to sit up there and put that on a soapbox and everything like that, right? And they're doing that for a multitude of reasons. And you have a lot of black women that don't even realize it. You have a lot of black women that feel that, hey, they're doing this because they see what it is that we are, and they're putting that directly out there. This is a positive message to black women. We're educated, we're proud, we're strong, we're intelligent. we're the homeowners, we're the breadwinners, we're the father and the mother, right? You have a lot of black women that's like, yeah, these are all good messages. As a black man, I can sit up there and tell you these are not, because what they're trying to enable and have happen is the further separation of black men and black women. This is another reason why I keep speaking on the DDG situation with Hallie, because you can go online right now and you'll see fields of black women ecstatic and happy that this is taking place, all on Hallie's side. I'm like, this is like weird. I'm like, didn't people say that they want black men to be fathers, that they want them to be present directly? We need them in a black man. But then when you happen to go online, right, when people want to talk in public, they'll say one thing, but then when they're online, they're saying what it is that they truly desire, what it is that they truly want. And I'm like, this is crazy. The amount of times that I've seen women online hoping and wishing and praying that these men out here lose their rights 100% to their children is crazy. It is crazy. And I've never seen any other demographic out here doing that much work, hoping and wishing, talking to the ancestors or whatever deities that they believe in order to make this so. Crazy work. Crazy work. It is diabolical. And people wonder why it is that you got a lot of black dudes out here that's like, I don't even want to be a father. Because black men ain't going to get no support nowhere, even if you are the most perfect of the perfect of a black man that is a provider and a father. You are not going to get no type of support from a lot of the women directly out here. They are going to wish the worst on you. They're going to hope that the mother takes them. Even if you can give a true story about the mother and how it is that she's going left to right and hopping from guy to guy to guy. She don't really got a house or a car, can barely even hold down a job. They're still like, I would rather those children or that child be with the mother than with the black man. Wow. Wow. That's incredible. That is incredible. That is incredible. But like I said, it is what it is. A lot of people don't want to listen. A lot of people don't want to, pay attention. They don't want to look at the negative or the detrimental effects when it deals with the psychology of advertisement or the types of media that they take in from the ages of 10 all the way up to 18. It be like that. It be like that. It's some crazy work. Matter of fact, there's something else that I wanted to bring up and mention, and I know how this could. Once I bring it up, it could potentially go sideways. I got to see if I can find the image real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. Like I said, I already know how this is going to go sideways, and I'm trying to have people just stay within a logical mind frame, because very easily people are like, but what about the black man? So 50 said this, right? So 50 stated that female rappers are being too overly sexual in their music and damaging younger girls. I agree. And I already know I can already hear somebody that's going to come up later in the live stream and I'm like, but what about all of the detrimental effects of black men, talking about black men, black women in their raps? I mean, you can also list black men in there too when it deals with the gangster and the gang culture and stuff like that. But we're more specifically just going to reference black women, right? What about the black men rappers talking about women in general when it deals with their rap and their music and how it is that they put that type of thing? And I'm like, at one point in time, right? Again, I'm willing to sit up there and hold an L, no problem, right? At a moment in time, we had individuals such as like Uncle Luke and many others directly out there that decided that they wanted to showcase black women. And in a lot of guys' minds, they don't, in a sense, see it as a negative, because these are the women that they are attracted to. So if they are attracted, they want to show off the women that they are attracted to, the women that they like, right? So you've had black women over the years. I'll go back to the classic video that I like to reference, which is Nelly's tip drill. If you don't know about that video, go look it up for yourself. Try to look up the uncut version, right? A lot of black women in the community during that time were really trying to boycott against Nelly when he came out with that video. They were like, that's so degrading. Look how he's treating black women. Look how they're going to be deemed and seen and all this other type of stuff, right? So it got loud enough and it got to the point where all of these other black male artists, they started to listen, and they were like, yo, I don't even feel like going through the thing that Nelly is going through right now. So what we're going to do is, if black women are complaining about how it is that they're getting treated, no problem. We're going to take black women out of the equation and we're going to substitute them with other women. And that's what happened. So this is why you started seeing the white girls, you started seeing the Latins, you started seeing the Blasians, the Asians, you started maybe even like some Arab, Chaldean, whatnot, or whatever. You started seeing a lot of other women and a lack of black female representation. Kid you not, black women were like, oh, this is what I'm talking about with black men. You guys are always idolizing all of these other women because you really hate us. Why don't you have us in your videos? Why aren't we your the girl next to you? Why aren't we the ones dancing on you? Why aren't we the love interest and all this other type of? You just clearly said you didn't like how it is that you were being sexualized in the video. Everybody heard it. So they subtracted you directly out of the equation so that you don't have to worry about getting sexualized or anything like that. So we don't have to worry about no complaints. So the moment in time that we bring in the substitutes, now it becomes another problem. Huh? So that's just on that one side, right? So now we move to the whole other aspect of, we're at a point in time, right? Because black women are independent. They're all the single ladies, as Beyonce stated, black women are the most educated, got the most money out here, own the most homes, all of these things, right? Completely independent, don't need nobody, right? Don't need no man's protection, no nothing. Now I can safely say at this moment in time that the image of black women is in black women's hands. So for the black female artists that are directly out here showcasing their bodies, like a Dolce, like a Lotto, Meg Thee Stallion, the City Girls, Glorilla, all of them, they are going out here half naked, showing off of their bodies. They're not even in, it's not even just in the rap videos where it's their lyrics. They're literally walking outside like this. So instead of them just wearing these clothes in the videos for artistic senses, they're wearing this stuff outside. Pretty much nothing. Even when they happen to go to music awards, pretty much nothing. And the craziest thing is, still with all of this going on, knowing the fact that you got a lot of these black women in control of their own images, what they decide to wear, what it is that they decide to rap, and all this other type of stuff, even the guys that they decide to be with, somehow, some way, somebody's gonna be like, you know what? We get that black women are doing this, but it's still black men's fault at the end of it. This is still all of your doing. We're not holding no L's. You're holding all the L's. And I'm like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that. It's either your Lois Lane or your Wonder Woman. You're Wonder Woman or Lois Lane. You ain't about to be both. Which one is it? Like I keep trying to tell people, get in a line. Get in a line. Lois Lane got every single right to be a victim because she don't have no superpowers. She can't really do nothing. You know, her father, was a military guy. She might have a little bit of military training, but if somebody stronger than her shows up, help, Superman, help, it's going to be that type of thing, right? Now, Wonder Woman, on the whole other hand, she is, for all intents and purposes, a god, right? Made of clay, Mother Hippolyta, and, all of those great things, right? So she got super strength, she got endurance, the lasso of truth, she's immortal, all this other type of stuff, armor made by Hephaestus. She's not looking for Superman to help. She's not looking for the Justice League. She's barely even looking for the other Amazons to rally it with her. She's just going to do what it is that she does. And she's going to take people with her. That's what she does. So this is why I keep trying to say, it's like, get in line and pick it. It's either you're going to be Lois Lane, and you might be able to do something, but you're still going to be looking for Superman to help you, or you're going to be Wonder Woman out here doing it all by yourself because you're able to and capable to, and nobody needs to back you up. Like I said, which one is it? Which one is it? Because I get tired of people trying to play both sides. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. Like I say, even men can admit at times when they need help with something. Like, yo, maybe I got like 49 bags of concrete. I'm about to sit up there and call up my boys real quick. and I'm about to, buy some food, some pizza, whatever it is that people want. We're gonna sit up there and get this job done real quick. Like I say, even men can sit up there and admit, like, yo, we are not the strongest out here. I'm going to need some other men who are just as capable, if not more, to sit up there and help me with this job. Like I said, men ain't stupid. We are not stupid. You see men lifting weights, they have somebody else with them, making sure that that weight does not fall directly on them, helping them lift that heavy weight. Like I said, men are not stupid. We know limitations. Obviously, other people out here, they haven't learned yet. So, like I said, I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what to tell people. Sham said, yes, I agree too. Said Seji, that's your Obama voice. I don't know what I was going for. I guess that was Obama. I don't know why that one came up. James said, I'm not even sure what that even was. Sham said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, that's bars. Third Eye said, now you can't stop these women from twerking and showing off the toe. Yeah, and I would actually highlight that, but you got some stuff up there. But the funniest thing when Third Eye basically listed his comment is that I have another video up here. Let me see if I can actually post that woman up here, right? Because this is going directly with Third Eye's comment. Before I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually like either do a video or even talk directly about this or whatnot, whatever. But I'm going to sit up there and highlight it just because, right? So you have this woman, melanated, black, whatnot, or whatever, right? And she works obviously for a company. You see let me just roll that back. Let me show you the brand, the company name right there, right? The company name is directly on the shirt, which is should be Allied Universal. She works for a security company. And by way of social media, people were stating that she was fired from her job because she was on TikTok making videos where she decided that she wanted to do this. She wanted to show off her full backside. And I want to sit up there, and the reason I want to highlight this is because this also further goes to show that because there are no type of, let's say, restrictions, because people are made to be accountable or responsible for their own decisions, they'll just do whatever it is that they want to do. I can't tell you how many times on TikTok I have literally seen women just like her. They could have been nurses, they could be doctors, they could be lawyers, they could be working on an airplane, they could be working behind the counter or the register of some fast food place. Every single time, it'll be women just like her that will decide, oh, I want to twerk. I want to show off how my body looks. What happened to the job? What happened to all the work that you might have put in college to get this job? Now all you want to do is throw up videos of you basically twerking and dancing on TikTok. I'm like, what's going on here? What happened to the education? What what happened to getting paid, getting the bag? I don't even understand it. I'm like, everywhere has to be a club. Is that what we're doing? And the other reason I'm highlighting this is because you got women. She's a grown adult doing this. You got young girls, young black girls out here watching all of these older black women do these things at their job. What do you think that they're going to sit up there and do? They're going to sit up there and copy. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if these young black girls see older black women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s doing this in public, doing this at jobs, doing this at colleges, just doing it whatever they want to do, now you're going to have these young girls sitting up there doing the exact same thing. Let me put it to a real life example, right? I sat up there and went to a cookout at a moment of time when I was younger. And, if you're black, sit up there and been to cookouts, right? So going to the cookout, music playing, people start sitting up there dancing. So you normally see, the girls or the women, sitting up there dancing, right? It might be it might take you back a little bit, but it is what it is. The problem that I had was not the fact that the girls during that time that were my age dancing or the black women that were dancing, of course, that were older. It was the fact of seeing the younger black girls, I'm talking about 7, 8, 10, 11, them mimicking and dancing how it is that the older girls and the black women were dancing, and how it is that those two groupings were egging on those type of actions by those young girls. And I'm just sitting there like in disbelief. I'm like, y'all really serious? I'm like, I can't say nothing because it ain't my child. So people gonna be looking at me crazy and telling me to shut up. So I'm like, hey, whatever. I'm because I already knew what was gonna happen. Already, I can sit up there and tell you the moment in time that you allow the leeway for those young girls to start acting like the older girls and the women, those girls will start to move very fast. And I kid you not, the moment in time that that dance started, you sit up there and move that clock 10 years later, that same individual ended up already getting pregnant at a very young age. Already got 2 kids. Crazy work. Like I said before, and this is why I just shut up in my own business. I'm like, y'all got it. I'm like, y'all got it. Y'all, I'm going to sit up there and let other people handle it. I ain't going to try to sit up there and manage. I'm not going to try to really tell a lot of these black girls and these black women what it is to do. I'm going to let people sit up there and learn the hard way because I'm not going to have to deal with the responsibility. You are. Crazy work. Crazy work. Diabolical in nature. Diabolical. This man D Money. Let me tell you. But yeah, it's crazy work though. Like I said, you got a whole job and you basically lost your job because you wanted to be on social media dancing while you're wearing company gear, company branding, while you're on the job, on the site. Crazy work. It's not about, like I said, people just don't understand. People don't understand. Crazy work. Shan was like, why wouldn't you do this? I'm always by myself. Shaman has to do with the notifications. It's always the notifications. I thought Tippy was in here. Hey, we got Hack in here. All right, what's up, Hack? What's up? Let me see. Incarnation, what is up? You said I don't say a word to these women. Let them learn the hard way. Yeah. Yo, what is up, Hack? What is up? Yo, Dorsey, what is up? You said animalistic nature of these children is apparent even and white girls twerk for a while till their parents catch them. Oh, yeah. And you'll see you'll see them cut that out real quick. They'll be like, yeah, you ain't doing that. He's like, yeah, you ain't doing that in this house. We will ship you off somewhere. Like I said, I mean, stuff still happens. Like you still have the underage, pregnancy and different stuff like that, and all other type of stuff. I mean, stuff still happens. But yeah, they at least try to nip that in the bud real quick, for whatever reason. And I have countless videos. Kid you not, countless videos over the years where these type of actions, were just deemed positive. I'm like, it ain't nothing positive about this. Because like as I tried to tell people before, I'm like, all right, you have a problem with black men sexualizing you, no problem, cool, got you. But then you decide to go out of your own way and then decide to do it, and then at the same time complain about the attention that you're getting from men and say that men are the problem. What? Like the mental gymnastics of a lot of this stuff when it deals with like these videos and these topics in social media, it is immensely insane. It is insane. But yeah, what was it? Hack said any day above ground is based. I got you. Sham said, LOL, I never did that either. My dad was too scary. Shout out to the dad. That man is a real one. One of many said that'd be hilarious when their parents catch them doing that. Oh yeah. For the white kids, yeah, it'd be hilarious. Sham said I had to do a 1 to 2 shuffle when dancing. My black father was strict. I couldn't even wear a skirt above my calves and let alone the knees. Yeah. Like I said, I respect that. I 100% respect that because at the end of the day, he already knows that when it deals with like younger dudes, they're going to pay attention to the obvious, right? Like, let's say like somebody like me, I got X-ray vision, for lack of a better word. So it's like I can see, right? I can see the unseeable, right? For a lot of other dudes, it's like the X-ray vision is cut off, and they're just like, I don't see you. So when it deals for your example, Sham, when let's say like you were dealing like wearing like some of those old clothes from like whatever like time period, right? So your dad had you in like something like that. The dudes out here wouldn't be paying attention. They'd be like, oh, like what is that? It's like, yo, are you wearing like a handkerchief? You wearing like a napkin or something? It's like that look crazy. Get out of my way. And then they'll be looking at the girls who are more so dressed, like a salt and pepper, or dressed like somebody from like Uncle Luke or whatnot or whatever. Like girls who are like showing a lot of everything directly out there that don't need to be shown. Right, those are the girls that they will be paying attention to, and then you'll be, pretty much off to the side and everything like that. So your dad knew what he was doing. Smart man. If you try to explain that to a lot of women now, they're gonna be like, "Oh no, that father, he was just controlling. He was this, he was that, and all this." Like I said before, a lot of women ain't never had fathers, and it shows. Like I said, I can go on social media. I'm a man at the end of the day, but I can go on social media, and I kid you not, the fields of women of varieties out here that are just half naked is insane. It is insane. Like I said before, if you would have told guys back in the 2000s that it's going to be easy for you to basically just like see women that you've never seen pretty much like half naked or with nothing on, they would be in disbelief. They would have thought it was some wizardry or sorcery. Like back in those days, like you had to hoof it through hell and high water just to even get a little bit of something directly out there. I was about to say something, but yeah, just a little bit of something directly out there, right? And I'm talking about the 2000s, right? People, just getting into like the phones and everything like that. Now you can just go on X, aka Twitter. You can go on IG, just scroll through the main different types of feeds that they got. You could technically go on TikTok and see a lot more because you got women out there that want to do these types of subtle challenges where they want to wear like thin, like case in point, I put it to you like this. This is how diabolical some of these women are when it deals with attention. They had a challenge on TikTok, kid you not, probably still up there, where these women that have certain types of shapes on their bodies would be in a dark room with a very thin dress. It would be like a flowing, type of dress, very thin. I'm talking about paper napkin thin, and then they would proceed to bend over so that you could see the shape of stuff that is there. And this is on TikTok. And like I said, I've tried to showcase a lot of the things that women are doing on these platforms. These are grown adult women, 20s, 30s, 40s. These grown women are doing and showing off, knowing the fact that you got young, impressionable boys directly out here. But on top of the fact of these women, like I said before, whatever the older women are doing, the younger women are going to mimic and do themselves. So this is why I sat up there and told you guys that they had another platform. I think what was it called? I think I made a video directly about it. I think it was like Likey or Like Me or something like that. When TikTok was getting shut down, a lot of people flooded directly over there. When I sit up there and tell you the amount of teenagers directly there and younger that are placing videos up there is insane. How it is that you don't have the FBI, government officials, like everybody's worried about TikTok, but they're not worried about all these other apps of which children are directly on. And this is why I continuously tell people you don't actually know what it is that your kids are doing. You don't know who it is that your kids are talking to. You don't know specifically what types of content your kids are placing out there. It was even to the point where the kids wising up. Then it was like, I don't want to sit up there and show my face, so I won't get identified. So I'm going to put a smiley face over it while still get making the content that the people in the comment were asking for. And these were adult men in the comment section, knowing the fact of the ages of the individuals there asking for certain types of content. And again, I've covered stuff like this before, but nobody likes to sit up there and listen. Nobody likes to sit up there and pay attention. I'm the villain. I'm the bad guy. Like I said, I'm out here trying to save people, and people just freely jumping off cliffs. It's crazy work. I'm about to put down the sign and just be eating while I'm watching the film. Just watching people just freely jump off a cliff, seeing if they can fly. That's what I'm about to start doing. Because you can't help people. You cannot help people at all. But at the end of the day, my main point is this: you have a lot of women out here that are being overly sexual, and they're doing that because a lot of women like attention. A lot of women hunger for attention. And if they see that another woman is getting the attention that they desire, they're going to copy and emulate whatever it is that that woman is doing. I know what I'm talking about because the moment in time that BBLs and whatnot started blowing up all over the place, you saw fields of women who you knew originally never even had anything on their bodies done. Once they saw every other woman getting all of this attention, getting this type of celebrity, getting these looks from all of these rich dudes, women were literally like, yo, I don't care if I die. I'm going to sit up there and go directly under the knife so I can be just like her. So instead of trying to be different, instead of trying to be, as some guys out here say, I'm cut from a different cloth, you're like, no, I want to be a part of the same quilt. I'm just going to be stitched in. I'm still different because I'm stitched in, but I'm still the same as everybody else. That's some crazy work. Going under the knife just to look the same as everybody else. That's some crazy. That needs to be studied. That needs to be studied. I don't know what the psychology on that is. It's crazy. Twerking is for the bedroom and or the strip club. Third Eye said the silhouette challenge. No. Oh, wait, was it silhouette challenge or was it the red light? I remember the red light challenge. Silhouette. I'm not sure if it was called silhouette. The funniest thing is, let me just highlight because I can highlight this one. So Third Eye, the funniest thing is, there was a few other. I did a lot. Did I do a live stream or video? I think I did a video, but I made sure to block out as much as possible so that you can't make hide nor hair of what the videos actually were in order for it to be up there. So I showcased on TikTok groups of women that would do this thing where they would magically sit on the camera of their phone. And when they did that, it would, for a split few seconds, show off what is underneath their clothes. And I kid you not, you literally had a woman that was a nurse. She had like hundreds of videos. Yeah, you had other quote unquote women that were like nurses or whatnot or whatever doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. I originally knew TikTok as a kids platform, and you have these adult people out here making this content and putting it out there, knowing the fact that you got millions upon millions upon millions of kids with accounts directly on this site. There's no age verification when it deals with the content that is on here. YouTube technically has slight age verification, but even with that, you can bypass that. And you can still happen to see some of the stuff that I have covered and talked about on this channel. Like I said, crazy work though, but people don't want to, pay attention to what is taking place. Crazy work. Oh, Sham was saying what? Oh, Sham, you know what that was? Sham was like, clearly I'm sheltered. It'd be like that. Let me tell you, it'd be like that. It's a whole new world out here, as Pocahontas said. Yo, DeJomo, what is up? What is up? You said, what's the difference between black women in pre-1960s and black women in 2005? He said, many black women in 2025 have lost self-pride and dignity. Dorsey said the chemicals and steroids have made these women fertile, and they are witless pawns as breeding animals. Sam said, I think it's really a lot of mental insecurity happening. Yeah. What was it? Incarnation said it could form a sort of vacuum as well in the right conditions during a tornado. Oh, you're talking about the first video. Got you. Cave said, look at Vivica A. Fox. It'd be like that. She just made the wrong decisions. And Vivica, if you look at Vivica A. Fox back in her prime, she looked great, beautiful. But You know, she wants to try to keep up with the younger girls directly out here. She probably saw some things that she wanted to change. Some things might have been drooping and dropping, and it be like that. You know, some people do too much, aka Mickey Rourke. Some people do too much. You know, I think some people say that that's what, like, body dysmorphia or something like that. It's crazy. Uh, let me see. Burgess said, if you only help one person at a time, you've done your job. So don't give up on that. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Third said, I remember it was a white woman getting BBLs to emulate black women's bodies. Then black women copied white women who was already copying black. Yeah, like I said, it's like the snake eating itself. It's like it's endless. Like it's just going to be a forever circle. It's crazy work, but you can't tell nobody nothing. Like I said, I remember it was like the whole thing dealing with like Kim K, right? It was the whole thing dealing with Kim K, and once that became popular and how her butt looked and everything of that nature, you saw fields of women all over really start to emulate that and try to get that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, that's crazy. Doris said, "Hey brother, you seen my face and hair?" And young males try to criticize me for looking different. I mean, the main thing I sit up there and tell people, like, at a moment in time that any guys basically have like white, gray, silver hair, whatever is basically called. You live long enough to actually get that. A lot of the young dudes that are, or even some of the guys that are directly out here that laugh at gray hair, I'm like, realistically, you have dudes out here that are dyeing their hair. You have dudes out here that are getting hair lifts, you know, and different things of that nature. Um, so, like I said, you know, I promise you, what's going to end up happening at a moment in time, just like how there was this whole fad with people wanting to have like locks, or the whole thing with like hairlines, be having like a perfect, you know, straight hairline, or to the effect of people wanting to have like a beard, which you would normally see with grown adult men, right? Just like how that was all a fad. Soon enough, there's going to be a moment in time. I can't tell you when. There's going to be a moment in time where there's going to be a fad where you'll see the women out here. It's more than likely going to start off with the younger women. You're going to see women out here saying that they love guys with, you know, some white or gray directly in their hair. The moment in time that that happens, I swear to you, you're going to see so many bums out here. Like, oh, you know, I got gray sides, you know, I got, you know, gray tipped locks, I got some gray in my braid. It's going to be some crazy work. It's going to be some crazy work, and they're all doing that in order to get the attention of those women that said that they are attracted to that specific thing. It's crazy work. But like I said, if people other than somebody graying early at a young age, usually guys who have gray hair, it's like, yo, it's because you're getting up there in age. It's just, you know, how it works. Right? That's a process to be proud of because you lived long enough to actually see that happen. A lot of guys ain't gonna live long enough. They might not even make it to tomorrow. So you know, you just, you know, you just got to sit up there and laugh at that because you got to think about it. It's like, yo, you outlived a lot in order to get to that point. A lot of the younger dudes can't say that. You know. Doris said I don't have TikTok on my phone or on my tablet. Gotcha. Sham said, I don't know what that toe is. I got to nod and move on. I don't really get exposed to stuff. I got you, Sham. I got you. One of many said, some of the ancestors going to the rest of these, or going to the rest of these places, all of them aren't residing after just this one. Um, Dorsey said Vivica Fox is immature for a mature woman, and she is a gilf. Third Eye said, I wear my flecks of gray hair as a badge. That's bars. That is bars. Straight bars. 100% bars. The next one, let me see. What was this? Okay, that was that one. We went over this as well, correct? Okay, yeah, so I can start getting rid of some of these. Yeah, so I can take some of these down. Don't mind the just the thing directly up there. I'm taking down some of the images so I can make sure to keep track of what it is that we are talking about here. So I can take down these two here. And we got a few more left. So this one is going to well, before I'm just going to have all of those pretty much lined up. So the next one that we're going to go directly into is this one here, where you had a Latino man that was attacked by a Caucasian male in a hate crime, right? So we're going to take a listen directly to this and see what happened.
Shared this video of his injuries, a broken orbital, that's the inner wall of the eye socket, after this brutal attack caught on surveillance video. A man wearing all green pummels Ibarra with both fists and kicks him when he's down. 36 seconds of straight, intense hitting. Ibarra says you can't hear on the surveillance video what the attacker yells at him in between those punches.
He told me, hey, you Mexican, and he started to insult him, and the guy, he started to hit me. And I tried to look at the guy, but the guy, he tried to smashing my face and my eyes and everything.
We're investigating it as a hate crime and a robbery.
Inglewood police say the attacker took Ibarra's keys and fled in this vehicle, a 2008 to 2012 silver blue-green Chevrolet Malibu with tinted rear windows that Ibarra says was waiting down the street.
And the guy, he ran away. He ran away. When I tried to follow him, I took my machete to my truck.
This is that machete. He tried to chase him with it until he got away. Ibarra believes the attacker was waiting for him to unlock his gate, hiding behind the hedge when it happened at 6:40 in the morning on April 15th. Police do not have any reports of similar attacks in the area, but wants to know if there might be others in neighboring cities. Ibarra says he wants the attacker caught and brought to justice.
I'm afraid about everything is going to be happening.
Are you afraid that they're going to come back?
Well, we never know. We never know.
Yeah, that's some crazy work. Like I said, I feel sorry that happened to that man. Whenever things like this happen, it shouldn't happen. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this man was just sitting up there, working, coming home, whatnot, or whatever, to his family, and you had this thug deciding that he wanted to sit up there and attack a hard-working taxpayer. Some crazy work. 100%. And I will sit up and say, like, yes, this is a hate crime, because he specifically targeted and went directly after this man, on top of the fact of the words that he also used while committing such an attack, directly on this man. Somebody out here in these communities knows who this Caucasian individual is. They are harboring a criminal, a thug, and they need to sit up there and turn him directly in. The other interesting thing that I will sit up there and state is that you're not going to see a lot of conservatives actually cover or talk about this story, or happen to bring this up, seeing how a lot of those of the Latin community helped to bring and to put Trump and the Republican administration directly in office at this moment in time. Like I said, it's pretty interesting, how they overlook a lot of these things that take place to a lot of these minority groups directly out here. It's crazy work. Hopefully, this man will get the justice that he deserves, and hopefully that Caucasian thug will be caught. Let me see. Burgess said, I'm so bothered by what I see because I deal with children every day, but what hurts me is seeing these young girls with the phony hair and false eyelashes at 9 and 11 years old. It's crazy. It'd be like that. Going back to, because I know exactly what it is that you're talking about, the previous video. I've tried to tell people before how the effects of what you do as an older person will leave an indelible mark directly on children, but a lot of people don't want to take on that responsibility. They feel that their actions are their actions and that it's not going to affect anybody else directly out here. But it'd be like that. Like, trust me, I've seen a lot of young girls out here at very young ages wearing makeup, false eyelashes, and even in some instances, lipstick. And I'm like, what are y'all doing as parents? How are you allowing these little girls to walk out the house like this? Like, this is insane. But like I said before, it is what it is. I can tell you that it's wrong, and I know the potentiality of all of these things, and how you're putting a marker directly on this child for the weirdos directly out there to start paying attention, to start looking, because they're looking and they're angling and they're managing certain things and trying to figure out if you're actually paying attention or not, and all this. Like I said, I've tried to put out so many warnings over the years. I get tired. It's like it's an endless fight. And it seems like when you want to take on the responsibility to basically try to hold down that thing and try to bring awareness and to try to get everybody involved, hey, nobody is trying to, really care. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, whatever. Like I said, I do not hope for any of those things that I've ever covered to happen to anybody's kids. I really don't. I do not at all. I wish for the safety of every single child directly out here. But I guess people got to sit up there and learn the hard way. I guess people got to wait until these things hit their doorstep in order for them to actually care about their child and what it is that their child is doing and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, there's nothing I can do. It's nothing I can do. Even with the little bit of light or whatnot attention that I can get on this platform, there's nothing I can sit up there and do. Like I said, only one man. Only one man. And I can't sit up there and tell you with those stories if I've made a dent in anything or whatever. To me, it feels like pretty much useless, realistically, just to be honest. It feels useless at times, and it feels like a waste. But yep. Maddie said the Second Amendment is important. Yeah. Dorsey said, now you see how white people really feel about Hispanics. Yep. ZS said white males are far more the most dangerous men to exist. The Money said, because it's all still funny at Sham. Oh, you talking about Sham. Hey, Bushido, what is up? What is up? Not much, man. Just sitting up here doing a live stream as usual. Is that supposed to be like Mac 9? I don't know. I'm not even sure how to pronounce the name. 2000 said if it was the other way around, it damn sure wouldn't be a hate crime. How do we get there? How do we even get there? Like this is what I'm trying to figure out, right? When people happen to see a crime being committed, right? We should just be able to look at the crime being committed. It shouldn't go to the effect of like, oh, well, if this happened to somebody, white, nobody will list this as a hate crime. Well, this is the thing. If white people happen to have a crime committed directly against them, usually what tends to happen is that nobody is yelling, I guess, what you would be concerned with a racial slur, whatever that would be. I'm not even sure what that would be realistically. I couldn't even tell you what that would even be when it deals with like white folks. Because realistically, historically, y'all don't have anything that severely like what this is what I'm trying to figure out. What words out there for white people, right? When y'all say that, oh, but if the shoe was on their foot, right? What words out there is really hurtful to you? That's what I want to know. Like, honestly speaking, because anytime that I've heard or looked directly at white people, I can't name you a word that actually really gets at white people. That they were like, that's a slur. You're being racist. It's like, no, that's just you being like reactionary, being, quote unquote, tongue in cheek because you want to throw this back at other individuals who consider you racist. But I'm saying just plain as day, I'm like, what do you even really consider like a word that's like hatred towards you, that actually really offends you, that gets you to your core, where you just are really, feeling sad and you're reminiscing about your ancestors? I can't give you nothing. Out of all of the time that I've been on this planet, I cannot list a word. Can't list a word. Can't list one. Try to start making everything about race in your life in your life will improve. What? What? I'm trying to figure out what parts of the live stream are y'all even coming in at. you y'all had to be dealing with the antebellum South slave mansion plantation thing. That has to be it. That's where some of y'all got to be coming from. Because good lord, because the comments ain't even matching up now. Golda said they don't like the darker Hispanic ones, not the white ones. He just thought he was okay to be amongst them. Dorsey said the Bear Rebellion. The Bear Rebellion was about armed white people stealing resources from Mexico and declaring that America was now their country. Diabolical. Sham said, yeah, not how I was raised. I wasn't even allowed to get my ears pierced until I was 14. Makeup was allowed at 16. Kids today get to be children. They are forced to grow up fast. That's true. That is true. That is true. That's true. What is that? Let me see. You said it's. I'm just gonna guess by that it's Maquades. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not sure if it's like Spanish or not or whatnot or whatever, but I'm trying to roll with it, right? Maquades 9. Hopefully, if that's, even though you said it's mock, but I'm looking. I think I'm close. Close. If I butchered it, my apologies. Sham said they always got to be the villain. Dorsey said, let's keep it real. The little short, dark-skinned Hispanics are preyed upon like the hobbits by the other races in Middle Earth, just loyal servants. Maddie said, I'm Hispanic and then that's when your comment cut off. D-Money said, I don't recall ever seeing black people beating up white folks because they're white. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, huh? I'm like I said, I've never lived around those areas, and I grew up in Detroit, and we got white people there, white teachers, all of that. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Yo, Living Tree from Hawaii. What is up? What is up? Hello, and much love, respect, and appreciation to you and yours. Sam said they don't like being called racist. They freak out on that. But it's like, that's not really a thing, though, right? You can call them racist, but that's not anything detrimental that's going to, really horribly affect them or hold them back or anything like how they like to, use it, right? Ain't that's cute, pronounced like a K. The money said maybe Snow Rose. I mean, I don't know. Wait, what? Yeah, we got some troll directly in there. I don't know what's going on there. You said it's all interchangeable. Okay. Dorsey said they watched 70s TV and remember when black people were no longer their property. He said the Q sounds like a K. All right. D Money responding to the troll up there said, which Jesus? You said it means holy in Arabic. Okay. That's dope. That's pretty dope. That is pretty cold. Pretty cold. All right. So next we got another video directly out here, and it's going to be dealing with the Black Americans. So I'm pretty sure we might happen to have some trolls and different things like that in the comment section, but it'd be like that. So let's see what it is that this woman had to say.
Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, Sulan, are at the center of the Supreme Court justice decision today. And what's pissing me off is every time I turn on a news station, everybody's trying to diminish our role in this entire thing. Because one thing is because a lot of people are immigrants, and a lot of immigrants are so jealous of the fact that we are Americans. And even just like Sotomayor. So I was watching the attorney talk to Sotomayor and say, listen, we are basing this on the precedence of the fact that this law of birthright citizenship was based on the descendants, the children of slaves. And immediately she like cut it off, switched it, and was like, well, also the gypsies. Who's talking about gypsies? Why are we talking about gypsies in America? Like, why did you deflect to gypsies? Why didn't you address the fact that, or have a counter to his point about ethnic Black Americans? And I've noticed that immigrants are so very, 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 not all, but most are very jealous of our position in this country, because they hate the fact that people of our color and our complexion can have this kind of cemented place in a country that they want to be a part of so bad, and they're just not on some levels. And so what we have is we have white Americans who are just given, you know, carte blanche, because white Americans, this place was ruled and colonized for them specifically, right? And then you have us who were begrudgingly given citizenship because they know that they made us build this whole entire thing. We've been here for 4 or 5 centuries. We fought in every war. We're so entrenched in this country that they had to begrudgingly, and we fought for, give us this citizenship. So on one side you have white Americans who are just kind of given carte blanche citizenship. It's just theirs, okay? And then you have us who have with blood, sweat, and tears and labor are embedded in this country with citizenship. And it's in our Constitution. The Constitution was changed to incorporate us into the fabric of America because we are America, our ethnogenesis in America. And they're so salty. The immigrants are, so many immigrants are so salty about it. And even, so you hear all the news networks when they're covering this situation, they're all trying to like not talk about the core argument, which is the fact that it's about ethnic Black Americans, children of slaves, giving citizenship not to immigrants. It was never designed for immigrants. And this goes back to the statement where we have told immigrants time and time again, if it weren't for us, you wouldn't be here. And they want to have all these tropes and narratives and try to twist American history and say, oh, we would have been here, or these non-melanated people gave us citizenship, they gave us immigration. No, they didn't. They did not. They didn't. It was based on your immigration status. If you are a non-white male in America, the precedents came from us, ethnic Black Americans, hands down. That is why you are here, because they used everything that we fought for, and you tethered yourself and piggybacked and jumped on our backs to get it. And we fought for you, and we try to help you until we realize how anti-Black a lot of you guys are. And so now we're quiet. If this was 10 years ago, we would be up in arms trying to help you, trying to fight for you, and now we're quiet. Now, I don't know what they're going to rule. It seems like, you know, it's going to be a hard road to get this passed in the Supreme Court, but Trump has pulled rabbits out of his hat before. And this is what I want us to understand. You have to, ethnic Black Americans, you have to have pride in your culture and community, because you have to understand that everything we have and everything that these people have in this country is off of us. This includes the non-melanated, because we built this country, okay? It includes every other group that comes to this country because we set the precedents for them to come to this country. And you need to stand up and start gatekeeping. It's funny to see the gingers and everybody like saying, oh, we're Black now because we're gingers. It's cute, but it's not, we need to gatekeep, okay? We need to stop letting everybody come in, because look at the silence of supposedly your allies, these people of color and all this stuff, where they don't want to give you, your ancestors, any credit for them being in this country. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to give us the credit when it is the center, it is the foundation of the entire argument. And they don't even want to mention it or talk about it. Sotomayor started talking about gypsies. So listen up.
The Constitution.
Respectfully, I think what we have are lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves, not to the children of illegal immigrants who really were not even a very discreet class at that time. And that's the sort of argument that deserves proclamation.
There were some people in Congress who argued against the 13th Amendment just because of that. Some people who argued against passing the amendment just because of that, because it would give citizenship to gypsies.
I think the relevant history of the 14th Amendment is the statements of Senator Trumbull, who emphasized that domicile was the key criterion. He said that in a letter to Andrew Jackson. And we've cited in our Ninth Circuit briefing a host.
Right, so we were able to hear that, and she made some very great, valid points. And I've highlighted quite a few times how you have those who are immigrants who come from elsewhere, melanated, right? Islands or those maybe from the UK or Africans that came directly, went to the UK and came here, or fled Africa and moved directly to Canada, then came here. Any which way, they came here, and they still decide that they want to speak negatively on Black Americans as if we're just not it, as if we just have not been here, as if we got here when they got here. And it's like, no, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And as she said before, it's a lot of them that don't want to give Black Americans the credit, even though we have the history to show what it is that we've done, been through, and everything of the sort. Like it's some crazy work to see those out there so thankless and wanting to lay claim and also trying to dismantle or throw a wrench into the fight of Black Americans and how it is that we are trying to get what we deserve directly from this country, just as everybody else has gotten what it is that they deserved from this country. Like, it's crazy. Everybody else is able to get a form of reparations or some type of healing. But when it deals with Black Americans, literally the whole world is telling Black people, no, you're not getting anything. You don't deserve anything. You didn't build anything. You didn't contribute to nothing. That's some crazy work. When the whole world is sitting up there going to one group and sitting up there saying something, you might want to look at that, because the whole world can't agree on nothing else. They can't agree on, they can't agree on lines when it deals with like land. On They can't agree with religion. They can't deal with the ages of marriages. They can't agree on nothing. But magically, the whole world, everybody on the planet, when it deals with the topic of reparations to Black Americans, everybody can unanimously agree. Huh? Not now we having a world peace moment. That's what we're doing. The whole world is seeing eye to eye on this? Nah. Like I said, there's something more to it that people got to pay attention to. That's a problem. There's two things that I've seen the whole world literally team up on and be directly okay and come to a common agreement. Number one has to be the Antarctic Treaty, where the whole world is like, hey, we'll have wars and stuff all over the rest of the planet, but this is just one place where everybody from all over the planet, no matter our disagreements, we will come here. We will work as, scientists. We'll do all of these, secret, top secret, experiments and all of this stuff. We'll just do that. We're not going to war no matter what's going on politically or religiously, in the world. Secondly, has to do with reparations with Black Americans. Crazy work. Diabolical. And this is happening in real time in 4K. 4K, people, in 4K. But people just not paying attention. Not paying attention at all. So now, speaking of not paying attention, we are going to go into two videos. Technically three, but it's going to be a 2-in-1 when it deals with the video that's about to play. And the Black woman that you see here is going to talk about, as you can clearly see, 18,000 people have HIV in Philadelphia. We're going to get directly into that, but I'm going to wait until the second woman speaks to get to one of my main points. Let's go.
Over 18,000 people have HIV in Philadelphia. Over 40,000 people have HIV either in North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm not sure. It's one or the other. I'm not sure. But I just recently saw a video of a girl saying that it was recorded to have, I believe, over 200,000 people had HIV in Texas. And the girl was saying like it was a big event that happened. A lot of shit was going on. A lot of people got tested after that event. And 200,000, they recorded 200,000 people. 200,000 people. I just keep on saying it because my brain keeps on getting fucked up by it.
Have y'all seen that video about that girl who came on here to let everybody know about the massive HIV outbreak that's taking over Pennsylvania and Texas right now? And I'm talking about cases in the 100,000s. Yeah, I decided to do my own little research. And when I tell you that being celibate has to be the best thing that I unintentionally did for myself, because it's scary out there. It's scary out there. Like, I think that it's about time that all of us women get on PrEP. As of 2025, the cities with the highest HIV rates in the United States are New York City, Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, and Washington, D.C. Now, I took it upon myself to go and screenshot the 20 cities with the highest counts of HIV and AIDS in the United States. This is recorded from 2024. What I had shown you before was where we're at as far as the cities with the highest rates of HIV in 2025. The new updated version or the updated list will be provided probably around the same time this was published, but I'm going to post them. And look behind me to see if your city is on this list. Starting at number 20, San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, California. Look at the rates. Next, we have San Juan, Carolina, Puerto Rico. I can't say the last part, but here's the rates for you. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Glendale, California. There's your rates. Now you have Columbia, South Carolina. West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, basically Florida. There you go. Jackson, Mississippi gets number 15. Newark, New Jersey is number 14. Washington, Arlington, Alexandria, D.C. area has number 13. Memphis, Tennessee is at number 12. Baltimore, Columbia, Towson, Maryland at number 11. Baton Rouge, Louisiana for number 10. New Orleans, Louisiana at number 9. Atlanta, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Georgia is at number 8. New York, Jersey City, New York is at number 7. San Francisco, San Mateo, Redwood City, California is at number 6. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at number 5. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Pompeo Beach, Florida is at number 4. Look at the rates. New York, Jersey City, White Plains, New York is at number 3. Miami Beach, Kendall, Florida, number 2. And I'm going to bring you guys to number 1. At number 1 is Fort Lauderdale, Pompeo Beach, Sunrise, Florida. Look at these numbers, bro. If you're a straight woman, if you're a bi woman, if you are a poly woman, if you are a lesbian queer woman that happens to still date women who deal with other men, please start thinking about getting on PrEP. If you're sexually active, start thinking about getting on PrEP. A lot of people wanted to clown Tamar Braxton when she admitted that she takes PrEP, but we know how DL culture is set up, especially within the male gay community.
Look at who she's
it's a different
blaming.
type of, you understand, suppression, where they won't even get on medication like PrEP, even though it would be to help them and to keep them safe from diseases like this. They're not going to get on it for the simple fact that they associate it with being a gay drug. They won't even protect themselves, okay? And they'll still go out and do what they're doing with other men who are also not protected. And because they still want to play this whole DL part, they're going to still get with women. They're still going to have sex with women, hell, create life with women, all to try to make it seem that they're straight when they're not. Whole time infecting every woman, every person, not just the women, but even the out men that they deal with. They're endangering every single person that they get into sexual contact with. Please start thinking about getting on PrEP, because it's scary out there.
So that's why I wanted to sit up and wait until this woman is done, because I hate conversations like this because it's very disingenuous. Because whenever I happen to cover topics like this, I happen to get the comments that people like to say all the time, well, if black men would be sitting up there doing, this is the main thing I want to sit up there and listen, and this is how disingenuous this is. I've been online for a long time, right, beyond social media. And the craziest things that you would see on a lot of black women's profiles that are hidden in the darkness, you have black women out here that will mess with quote unquote gay men or seek them. You got black women out here that will mess with bi men and seek them out. You have black women that will mess with trans men and seek them specifically out. You have black women out here that will seek out a variety of these types of men, the same ones that she's out here putting all 100% of the blame on. Because I want people to pay attention. She's like, hey, if you're a black woman out here, if you're in a lesbian or a queer relationship, if you're bi, if you're straight, you got to be very wary and concerned, directly about these men out here because they're on the DL and all this other type of stuff. She's making it seem as though this is how disingenuous this is. She's making it seem as though that all of the black women out here are just straight. She's making it seem as though that all of the black women out here are just honest about what it is that they believe in sexually, when they're not. Because there have been countless women that I've talked to that have stated that in the workplace, you have women that don't state their sexuality openly, but they try to basically fill out other women by trying to lightly touch the shoulder or the arm, brush up against them a multitude of types of ways, and all of the stuff that women say that men do is creepy. Women are doing that to other women in the workplace to try to fill them out to see where it is that they are. But like I said, you're not going to hear a lot of black women talk about this, because the only ones that are problematic, the only ones that specifically do the most harm and detrimental to black women is black men. Because the only warning that she gave was dealing with black men. For me, I would have sat up there and, just like I've said it in other videos before, I'm like, yo, black women out here, like, yo, realistically, it's both parties that are out here infecting, going to and from, and doing all of this reckless stuff. If I wanted to showcase the videos and it was able to do it directly on YouTube, I would sit up there and do that, because there are tons of videos to basically prove the perspective of what it is that I'm talking about. And again, people got to understand there are more women out here than there are men. And you also got to understand that if there are more women than men, that also means that women are sharing these same men. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to look at that whole thing. No, like I said, when it comes to these conversations, when it deals with online, I see a lot of women not wanting to take the responsibility of their own bodies. I could have sworn it was a moment in time, and I covered this a long time ago, the whole thing of my body, my choice, and all this other type of stuff. You're right. So now when something happens, you got this HIV outbreak. I wonder how many women out there are solely blaming black men for this, as if black men just took over their bodies and just made them do whatever it is that the black men wanted them to do. Or was it that both parties had consensual relations? Which one is it? Because this is the type of stuff that I'm not for. Like, I don't like stuff like this. Like I said, she's not wrong in the sense that you have dudes that will hide their status, dudes that are not taking any medication, dudes that are on the DL. Yeah, cool. Got you. But to try to make it seem like this is only stemming directly from black men and black men are the causation of it is completely crazy, because you got women out here that are literally passing this out to any and everybody that they get in contact with, because they don't want to be the only ones out here with it. I didn't cover stories like that when it dealt with somebody having HIV, somebody who had some STDs directly out there, such as like gonorrhea and things of that nature, and stupidly proud to be spreading this to other people. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to highlight that. Nobody wants to say that that's problematic. It's only problematic when you can happen to point, hey, black men are the causation. They're part of, they're 100% of the problem. Some crazy work. Crazy work. And from my angle, the main thing that I've tried to at least tell black women out here is, y'all need to start moving differently. Y'all need to start moving safely. Y'all need to start wrapping up. Y'all need to start sitting up there, managing your charts. Go get a my chart and all this other type of stuff. Because I'm like, realistically, because I'm just going to sit up there and be honest, regardless on how this sounds, it is not up for another stranger to care about your body. You are the only person that is supposed to care about your body. Your body is your temple. It is up for you to take care of your own health. If you know what vitamins you need to sit up there and take every single day to grow your hair or to have your skin shining, and you know the type of makeup that you need to use in order to seem like the type of person that you are, what you need to be the main one to sit up there and manage everything internally. You know what pads you got to use, right? You know that you're not going to be using, tampons because they might be harmful, carry certain bacteria. So you're going to be sitting up there using pads. Or if you don't want to sit up there and go through periods, you know that you're going to put yourself on a certain diet that is not going to have so many chemicals that's going to react internally with your body, therefore lightening your period to either a little bit to none at all. On top of that, also working out. Like I said before, I can list off things. I'm not even a woman, but I pay enough attention. And I've at least watched enough to have a little bit of an understanding to, put some information directly out there. But like I said, even with me doing that, taking out that initiative and that time, people still don't want to sit up there and listen. People still come to me, be like, "Oh, but Seji, but if men would do that, if you take yourself out of the equation, right? If women take themselves out of the equation, let me see if I can go back to right. So we had the whole thing going back to the first video where this woman said 18,000 people. What would be the percentage of those people if women were not in that equation? If women took themselves out of that equation, how many black women would be affected? Guess what? None. See how that works? See how easy that is. If you know that you got people out here that are reckless with their bodies, number one, you can practice celibacy. You can be abstinent. Number three, you can decide to sit up there and go get tested with each and every partner that you decide to get. And I promise you, 99.9% of the time, people that want to go willy-nilly out here and just have relations with whoever it is that they want to have relations with, they're not going out there and getting tested. You got so many people out here that just sleep around on the first date, on the first night. They just met each other. Bow. They're in the back of the club somewhere. They're in the bathroom, back of the car. They're at the park. They're doing whatever it is that they're doing, with or without protection. Don't know anybody's status. Don't know if somebody might have inner mouth sores in the back of their throat. They don't know if they might have just suppressed them with some type of medication, but still has the possibility to pass stuff. You don't know what's going on, but you're out here kissing, dibbling, and dabbling, licking and slipping all on everything. That's some crazy work. That is crazy. That is crazy. Diabolical. Wait, what? Well, because I had to see what Shan was talking about. What was that? Brother, see, this is how I'm going to start talking. Brother, what are you talking about? So Gina said that here you go with the black men bashing. Brother, what are you talking about? The black woman bashing. How am I bashing black women? When the main thing that I'm sitting up there stating is that the best policy to go about the situation is to equally distribute the blame on both parties. It takes two to tango. You yourself, if you're a woman, you yourself cannot catch an STD if you're not with another person. Common sense. If you're with another person, your chances are that much more likely to catch an STD. Do you see how that works? Do you see how I'm sitting up there saying that, hey, it takes two to tango? Both parties are in control of their own bodies. Both parties are in control of their own health and their sexual health. But you're like, oh, you're sitting up here doing is blame black women. No, I'm distributing the blame evenly. I'm not going to go out here and just simply blame, oh, yeah, it's all black men's fault. It's all black men's fault. So you mean to tell me that black women are educated, they are smart, they are knowledgeable, they know about their bodies, but the one time where black women seem to basically fall off the map is when it deals with, sexual status, when it deals with the STI or the STD status. That's the moment in time that people fall off. When it means that you need to go get your partner tested immediately, that's the moment in time that all of that intelligence, that knowledge, all of that college, it just goes to the wayside. Nah, I don't got no time for that. I don't got no time for that. If I'm going to say that black women are intelligent, they are intelligent, and black women are intelligent and should be intelligent enough to know their status and to get each and every one of their partners tested whenever it is that they want to sit up there and do stuff. That's some crazy work. Next, you said, are you black men can do is, I think that's supposed to be all. Let me look at my keyboard real quick. How did you mistype that? because I'm looking at A, R, and E in the same area, and L is all the way on the East Coast on my keyboard. So I'm like, how did you? Anyways, like you said before, you said R you black man can do is Blaine. Right. You mean like David Blaine? You mean like do like magic or something like that? Like sleight of hand, type of thing, or some Houdini type stuff, right? All you can do is blame black women for everything. So what part of the live stream did you we've been going for about like a minute and 54? What part this has to be the only part of the live stream that you came in on. You didn't come in on any other part. Like, do y'all have like a spider sense? Whenever you think that a black man is just like hating on black women, like the spider senses just goes off across the net and it just sends you to somebody's platform, which, oh, this Negro over here I said some talking about black women. It's like your brains go off like Professor X when he was having like a headache trying to read Apocalypse's mind. Like, it's some crazy work. Like, are you serious? That's all you're sitting up there getting from what, brother? This is why I told y'all before. Y'all got it. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. You said, I'm done the minute I think one of you guys are cool. You do some crap like this. Brother, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like what are you talking about? Like that's some diabolical work right there. Like I said, for anybody that wants to question at any point in time why it is that Seiji might not do things or videos in a sense surrounding black women, this is why. Because you got people, I got to choose my words lightly. You got people out here that just don't want to sit up there and listen. You got people out here that don't want to sit up there and pay attention. Don't want to pay attention at all. Don't, just are gone. That is crazy. That is diabolical. That is 100% diabolical. 100%. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Yo, what is up, Gail? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. That's crazy. That is crazy. Like, what? Like, like I said, I don't really got faith in a lot. I really don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I really don't. I really don't. Because I'm like, the craziest part is that it shows that a lot of people have never been raised or had a very important man directly in their life. And it really shows how a lot of women cannot just sit and have a conversation with a man. Just like look past words and pay attention to the actual topic, the actual conversation. Because within everything that I'm saying, I literally gave a multitude of solutions. But do you think that somebody like Gina would hear something like that? Nah, they ain't trying to hear that. Because they don't want to be accountable. They want to be responsible. They don't want to have no acknowledgement of any type of fault that led them to a certain situation of catching an STI or HIV or whatever. Like, it's crazy. Like, I myself, even in my own life, when I was younger, I tried to sit up there and tell young girls, I'm like, yo, you got to sit up there and like wrap up. You got to make sure to have your own stuff directly on you if you're going to be doing this so you don't get pregnant, all this other time. Nobody wanted to listen. And I'm sitting up there seeing people walk around the corner of the local store near the high school with a baby carriage. And I'm just sitting up there looking, and she's looking at me with her head and her eyes down to the floor. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's on you. You the one that messed up. You the one that led yourself to that choice because you didn't want to pay attention to what people told you. Hold your head up high. You stand 10 toes down, just like how you stood 10 toes down when you decided to get pregnant, when you decided to have unprotected relations with that dude who probably ain't even in your life or that child's life still to this day. But like I said, I'm the bad guy though. I'll be the best one out here. I'll 100% be that villain. I'm just going to do it my own way. Like I said, this is crazy. 100% crazy. 100% crazy. Like I said, shout out to Gina though. That's you. You are completely You cannot have any accountability on anything in your life. Somehow, some way, I know that you listen to content creators who solely and only blame black men for their own bad decisions, for the reason that they got pregnant, while the reason why they own 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, for the reason why they up there on Section 8, why the reason they on government assistance, why the reason why their life basically ended at that moment in time that they got pregnant. I promise you, somehow, some way, if it's not the black dude who got them pregnant or black guys that they share amongst with other black women, somehow, some way, it's going to be the black father's fault. He wasn't there enough, or he just wasn't there at all. Somehow, some way, everybody else is going to be to blame, but you for your own decisions. You got that. I pray for your daughter if you ever have one, or if you have one, I pray for her. I hope that she does not have your mentality. I hope she does not move or act like you. Some crazy work. Anyways, the main thing that I wanted to tag up with this video, because this is the perspective that this lady here wanted to take. I wanted to give a different perspective when it dealt with this whole situation. So we're going to take a listen to this one here.
As somebody who studied human sexuality quite extensively, it's really good to hear so many people freaking out about apparently an HIV outbreak that's been happening across the country, because whether people want to admit it or realize it or not, it doesn't matter if you are in a committed relationship or not. It doesn't matter if your partner claims that they are straight or not. It doesn't even matter if you are a lesbian couple. It can be transmitted if there is any ounce of infidelity of any kind or drug use.
Hold on. Let me just highlight this. Bro, I don't know if you're a troll. I don't know if you're black or not, but let me just speak this for anybody, for any other black dude out there that's on like the whole McGow, save yourself and all that other. Like, dog, if you like dating like Latin and white girls, like, yo, that's great. Kudos. That's, like I said, I don't understand why you gotta always bring that up. I'm a little bit confused. I don't understand. Like, if you got like 10 Latin girls or 10 white girls, Asian girls, whatever it is, like basically lined up, like, dog, your whole week and everything should be like filled. You should not really have the time of day to be fixated on conversations like this. You should be elsewhere, realistically. And that goes for both the black guys that like doing this on this platform, and it also goes for the black women that like sitting up there talking about and hyping up white guys and all this other type of stuff. Like, yo, there's some clown type of behavior. I'm just gonna be real, some clown type behavior. At no point in time could I ever sit up there and respect or have respect. I don't even care if you happen to reply back that I don't need your. It don't matter. You wanted to be here, so now we're here. At no point in time do I respect any black male that does this. I have no respect for you. No respect, no love, no nothing at all. Because if your selection or whatnot or whatever that you have is the greatest of the greatest, you should be fixated on them. You should be focused on those white girls, those Asian girls, those Latin girls. Matter of fact, you should be really over there with that whole community, just to be honest, just to be real. If this is the type of mentality that you have, and you just can't just like stay within the solace or the silence of your decision, you need to be purely with that community, just to be real. Have them accept you, take on their name and their heritage, be directly up over there, because this type of stuff don't need to get passed down to none of our kids directly in these communities. We got too many problems as it is. This is one less that we don't need. We don't need this. And again, like I said, I try to make this as even as possible. I'm talking about to the black men that do this on my platform quite often, and to the black women that do this on my platform quite often. Both of y'all are lost cause. 100%. No love lost. No love lost. Like, the fixation that y'all got on black platforms is diabolical by itself. Like I said, if y'all were just like here chilling and y'all were just doing whatever, that's cool. I wouldn't even care. But the moment in time that you tell me that this is who you are and you want to let everybody else know, that lets me know that you are not really happy with your decision. Because if you were, you would be elsewhere. Every billionaire and millionaire are happy with their decisions. You don't see them talking to broke people. You don't see them coming to everybody's YouTube and letting them know, like, I'm rich and you're not. They're not doing that. They don't care. Like, they don't see us. They don't see broke people. They don't. They're paying attention to all the other rich people directly out there. They're traveling, going to space, going underwater, deep sea diving with PS3 controllers. They're doing all of that stuff. But y'all can't even sit up there and just stand on y'all decision. Y'all gotta let everybody else know that you're happy. Like, that's stupid. What? Why should I care that you're happy? I shouldn't, because it has nothing to do with me. It's not going to benefit me realistically. It's your decision, right? You have to deal with that and everything that comes with it. But yeah, let me just go back over this again.
Honestly, as somebody who studied human sexuality quite extensively, it's really good to hear so many people freaking out about apparently an HIV outbreak that's been happening across the country, because whether people want to admit it or realize it or not, it doesn't matter if you are in a committed relationship or not. It doesn't matter if your partner claims that they are straight or not. It doesn't even matter if you are a lesbian couple. It can be transmitted if there is any ounce of infidelity of any kind or drug use. And unfortunately, a lot of people, way more people than you think, are living double lives. It is sick. It is terrible. It is not okay. But you really have to make sure that you are doing your due diligence when you are engaging in sexual activities with people. Because if they've been with a lot of people, if they have a history of infidelity, if they have a history of even looking the other way at anybody, you cannot and you should not trust that they will not end up giving you some form of sexually transmitted disease later on. I have seen it ruin lives. I've seen people that I've known kill themselves because of this. And unfortunately, I am related to somebody who knowingly spread HIV to so many people across Europe before it was a really big deal. Please think, protect yourselves, and there is nothing that is worth having your entire life destroyed over a night of feeling like you have to feel something. There's something deeper going on that you need to heal from. Learn to protect yourself, learn to trust your instincts, and learn to pay attention to people's patterns. There are very few things in this life that truly, truly matter. And if you unfortunately end up in a relationship with somebody who gives you something that you have for life, you have it for life, and there's no going back. Please take this seriously. Get on PrEP, as people are saying. But I don't know. That's my PSA. Have a good day.
So notice how it is that she decided, as a Caucasian woman, notice how it is that she spoke about it. Now, very easily, she could have decided that, oh, I'm going to sit up here and just blame, the white men, all for this. And she didn't do that. She said people. She said people need to PrEP. People need to be safer. People need to get tested. People need to be worried. It's great that a whole bunch of people are concerned. Notice how it was just a blanketed statement. It was pretty much balanced. But now in the reverse, when you go back to the previous video that I showed you, specifically the only danger directly out there, right? The only
Over
danger directly
18,000
out
people.
there when dealing with this video just so happens to be black men. Like I said, it's a difference in messaging. It's a clear-cut difference directly in messaging. The previous woman could have did everything in her power to sit up there and blame the men of her community and to drag them through the mud and do all of this. She did not take that road. She wanted to make sure that everybody understood that, hey, this is something that any and everybody can get, that any and everybody can catch, that any and everybody can pass to another person. This is not just for any one specific group and or people. This is about everybody who decides to be sexually active directly out here in these streets with another adult, another human being. But like I said before, people don't want to pay attention to the messaging. People don't want to pay attention to the messaging. And this is why I keep trying to tell people this is where a lot of stuff get lost. This is where a lot of stuff get lost. A lot of stuff get lost. Some crazy work. Crazy work. Yo, Ishmael, what is up? What is up? You said affects all ethnicities and all genders. Yeah. Yep. Dorsey said, and they spreading diseases from the brothels. Ishmael said, education levels, socioeconomic backgrounds. Golden Brown said, what if there's a small group of people, about 500,000 that wanted to destroy everybody else on the planet so they can have the world to themselves? It's nothing you can do because you would have to be able to find and identify who those people are. And also their contributors, because even if you just got those 500,000 people, you got some other people that will align directly with them, even if it means the detriment, even at the detriment of them. That's how crazy it is. Let me see. D Money said, can't go down on everyone. I mean, this is the thing. Again, people got to get tested. This is the main thing that I've advocated for years. I've been trying to tell people like, yo, go sit up there and go get tested. Go, get a my chart. Go take your partner. Go wait. Well, in Detroit, it was like Herman Kiefer, but I think that closed down. I forgot. But wherever you go to get tested, go there with your partner and get tested. I'm talking about especially if you're not in a relationship just with one person. You want to go out there and get tested. If you're dibbling dabbling with multiple people, things can sit up there and happen. Like I said, people do a lot of stuff directly out here. People be in a lot of different situations. Again, I ain't judging. I'm just sitting up here saying that if people gonna be, partying and doing this and doing that, you want to sit up there and go out there and get tested. That's it. You wanna go out there and do that. If anything, people should have learned that from what was that, the Cassie and Diddy trial. Not sure of how many people are actually paying attention to that. Some crazy work out here. Let me because I want to switch this real quick. So let me just swap to this real quick, because there's just something I just want to mention real quick. Because there's because throughout the time there was a lot of people that were feeling a certain type of way when it dealt with this whole situation, when the whole Cassie and Diddy type of thing. And the main thing that I tried to make people understand is that two things can happen at the same time. One of which could also be somebody being a contributor factor of them doing certain types of things within that trial, as which has been stated by people who were there listening live. Information has came out and stated that Cassie was strung out at a moment in time. Her and Diddy, sitting up there doing a variety of things, sort of like the whole Bob and you Whitney thing. But it got to the point where Diddy, he's able to work and not fall out for the stuff that he does because he's been doing this for so long. because she's in a sense newer to it, she ended up on the worse end. She just wasn't able to handle taking in a lot of those things into her body. And it got to the point where she got addicted and she had to D was like, oh, you need to, actually go seek some help real quick. It also got to the point where D was like, yo, I'm gonna sit up there and talk to other people and your friends and tell them like, yo, do not enable her, do not give her, this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. She can't handle it. She don't need to really do this. She needs to, get on the up and up, at this moment in time. It got to that point. And I was like, huh. I'm like, it's interesting how it took for a court case for people to realize that the person that you also consider to be the victim also is a perpetrator in a sense of their own situation and demise. Of all of the things that they're in a sense accusing Diddy of, which is, the whole freak off and everything like that, she is a willing participant and a contributing factor directly to those things. So in reality, wouldn't that also mean that she needs to get thrown? She needs to face time just like Diddy? Just saying. Shouldn't she be facing time too if she's contributing? If she's going in there with the alcohol, with the drugs, and having dibbling and dabbling with all of these parties. And then on top of that, they also stated that while she was with Diddy, her let me see, where's her husband at? That's the dude, right? Yeah. Let me just get this real quick. Craziest part to sit up there and find out about this. Let me just put up their picture real quick. Is that it was stated that while Cassie was with Diddy at one of the freak offs, she sat up there and FaceTimed her now husband. Somebody got to explain that to me. And not only that, she was also seeing Kid Cudi. She was also allegedly seeing Michael B. Jordan. This woman was moving. And still to this day, there are fields of women like, oh, she is a victim. She is this, she's that. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for that woman. Is a willing participant just like Diddy. Ain't nobody innocent in this situation. Ain't nobody innocent. Diddy ain't innocent. Cassie ain't innocent. Nobody's innocent. Ain't nobody innocent. Like this is some crazy work. It's crazy work. That is diabolical. Ishmael said, in the eyes of society, Seji, women are given the benefit of the doubt. There will be questions about why or how she becomes a perpetrator and what factors contributed to female privilege. No, you are right, but somebody made a good point. They said that women like Cassie will always be deemed or seen as innocent, right? Nobody would ever believe that she would do something like that. But if you see somebody like Sexy Red, right? We've all seen Sexy Red. But because how it is that Sexy Red carries herself, and also because she is darker complected, everybody's going to automatically believe, oh, of course she's wild. Of course she's going to be doing this. Of course she will be into that, right? But again, going back to Cassie, look how she carries herself. Look at the presentation, right? Head is directly up. She's not really wearing anything too, revealing and everything like that. She's not really doing too much when it deals with makeup and all that other type of stuff. And again, skin complexion, she is light. So again, there's a lot of contributing factors on why it is that people are at this moment in time shocked. I'm not shocked. I am not shocked about this at all. But yeah, like I said, it's it be like that. It is crazy. You said that she was under Diddy's coercive control. She is a victim. So when her and Diddy, let me get this straight, right? So when her and Diddy has separated and she opted to see other men, many men, right? She opted to do that on her own accord and still continue doing the exact same things. You mean to tell me that Diddy just had this long invisible leash directly on her? That's what we're saying. That's what I'm supposed to sit up there and believe. And like somebody else stated, everybody's like, so you think that just because Diddy is in court, everything is shut down, right? You think that these same parties are not still happening? It just moved to a different address. It's just a way more low key. It's way more private. That's all it is. All of this stuff is still happening. It is literally still happening as we speak. And y'all sitting up here just focused on Cassie and Diddy. Like, Diddy is the worst. I can't believe somebody like, It's like, really? I can list you worse people that were doing worse things. But y'all wasn't trying to talk about bringing them to trial. Y'all wasn't trying to talk about releasing that information. That's also because the men that I can list are not black. Crazy work. Crazy how that works, though. It's crazy. Diabolical in nature. And as I said earlier, ain't nobody hands clean in this situation. Ain't nobody hands clean. Yeah, it was like I never felt sorry for Cassie from the start. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Be like that. You see what else I said? I'm trying to go through. You said one thing I learned from therapy is that you can be all three things. You can be a victim, an abuser, and the hero all at the same time. She was greedy and stepped into that for money. You know what? I'm glad. Let me highlight that, Sham. I'm glad that you listed that because somebody also listed the fact that before Diddy, Cassie was actually with somebody else. And she opted to jump out of that relationship once she saw an option and an opportunity to be with a guy with power. Like I said before, regardless of what people say, women love and respect men with power, especially if it's a dude that got billions of dollars. Oh, that woman is like, I'm set. All I have to sit up there and do is lay down the groundwork and basically do whatever I got to do to prove. And I don't have to worry about nothing for the rest of my life. If you give women the opportunity right now to basically prove themselves to be with some type of multi-million or a billionaire, a lot of women would jump at the chance of doing it because a lot of women ain't trying to sit up there and be doing this bill to bill, having to sit up there and work and struggle and do all of this and work. Nah, a lot of women out here want an easy life where they just wake up and do whatever it is that they want to do. And every day is a different day. There is no set schedule. They might not even have no kids to sit up there and do it because they might either not have no kids or they got a nanny or whatnot or whatever. They up there on like a yacht. They sitting up there seeing stuff they only see in the magazines. If you give the option to women to either want to live the hard life that they got right now or to live pretty much a carefree and easy life by being with a multimillionaire or billionaire, a lot of women are going to choose the latter. Cassie chose the latter. She decided to be with a billionaire. Whoever it was that she was with in the beginning, she was like, deuces, you can't do for me the things that I need. I'm going with Diddy. And that's what she did. And she did the work that she needed to do to be able to get the things that she wanted directly out of life. It don't matter if it dealt with beats, music, if it dealt with features or just not even having to bring out an album no more because Diddy is going to take care of her, which he did. But you you said no doubt Cassie. Let me see. I want to say Mac. I had it right the first time, and then it just left me. We're just gonna say M9 for short. M9 said, no doubt Cassie was complicit, but the problem for Diddy is that when she was ready to bail, he was putting foot and hands directly on her. What they tried to state is due to the effect of the amount of narcotics that they were taking, he pretty much blacked out. That's what they're stating. They're contributing the heavy usage that they were doing, that both parties were doing. They're trying to contribute that to the situation of which unfolded at that hotel. Like I said, Ain't nobody clean directly in here. That's all I'm sitting up and saying. I'm not batting for anybody. I'm just saying ain't nobody innocent. Everybody was a willing participant in the good, the bad, and the ugly that took place. And they also listed at one point in time that Diddy had OD'd, but nobody actually heard or knew directly about it up until that court case. So there's also that as well too. So just gotta put that out there. D Money was like, I'm not kink shaming, but man, yeah, I gotta sit up there and pull. What was the? I gotta pull applause. Like that dude got up there. He was like, "Yo, I thought I was really doing something out here." And he was like, after listening to that trial, he was like, "I ain't even scratched the surface." Yeah, it's like people don't even when a lot of people say that they get down, they are actually getting down. They are really sitting up there, getting down. So yeah, like I said, people learned a lot. People are learning a lot. That the things that they're doing now ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. I hope people ain't stupid enough to try to want to match up to that, because I'm like, that's stupid. Like you don't want to do that. That's not what you want to sit up there and do. Shout out to TLC where they said stay with the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Whatever it is that you just been normally doing, just stick with that. Stick with those rivers, lakes, those ponds. Stick with that. Be a little goldfish in that bowl. Don't try to deep dive in the ocean and you ain't prepared for the pressure. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you will drown. Your body will cave in. Don't do that. You are not emotionally ready for everything that you would have to take on dealing with those situations. You're not ready. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ishmael said they're barely given a doubt, right? Kinsella said she was a commodity passed around. She is a victim. She was literally stating herself how even after the fact of Diddy trying to get her straight, that she was opting to delve right back into the same narcotics that got her into certain positions. Look here, I don't got no time for this. For all of y'all out there that want to just specifically look at her as a victim, cool, whatever. That just tells me that you are not with people actually acknowledging their faults. She's, like I said, she's on the stand literally stating the things that she contributed to, and y'all out here, she's a victim. Okay. That's crazy. Yeah. Ishmael said them cats like Michael B. Jordan and them better get tested. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure with a lot of money and stuff and how people be sitting up there moving, I'm pretty sure people are. And this is the other thing too. The other thing I want people to also be aware of, if you happen to look at a lot of celebrities, you always will notice that their circle is small with the people that they deal with. They never really, or very, very rarely, will they deal with outsiders, right? The only outsiders, in a sense, that celebrities will deal with are other people in sports. So you might have a dude that's in like the NBA or a guy that's in the NFL, right? You may see them with some of these celebrity women or whatnot or whatever. So it's usually guys in the NFL, the NBA, or rappers. That's usually how that works, right? Or movie stars, stuff like that. Those four avenues. Very, very rarely do you happen to see celebrities bring in an outsider, because that's a lot to deal with. It's already enough. What celebrities are dealing with, they manage that, right? They got the best doctors, they got the best suppressants, best medications, best everything that you can buy. When you bring in an outsider, you're throwing a wrench directly into that whole well-oiled machine, of which people are pretty much used to. Like, that's an unknown variable. You don't know if that person is still going to be dibbling and dabbling with other people on the outside realm or what have you, right? So like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot. Dorsey said, why can't I be a billionaire? I will buy an old surplus Jeep aircraft carrier. That way I can call a Jeep carrier and refit it as a floating casino. Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. I don't even gamble, but that'd be actually pretty fly. Ishmael said, remember Diddy was messing with Laura Harvey? Oh, yeah. Wonder if she wasn't freaked on. She messed with his son. Yeah, she did. Lori Harvey, she was with Diddy and his son. Trust me. She, like I said, you got to look at if you look at any of the women that have ever been with Diddy, I promise you, J-Lo included, a lot of these women, like I said, Young Miami, she was out here, unlike all the other celebrity women. Young Miami was out here telling people what it is that she's into, what it is that she does. But like I said before, people want to say like Cassie, oh, she was a victim, this, that, and the third, right? Because of the video at the hotel, right? But if you take that video out, are people still going to say that Cassie's a victim? Yep. Even though you got Young Miami and J-Lo that have more than likely done similar or the same things that Cassie has done. Crazy. Cassie even sat up there and tried to vent to Nicki Minaj about the whole situation dealing with Diddy. And she said that Nicki Minaj told her, stop crying about it. It's, it's a part of the job. Ooh. So you got a successful multi-millionaire female rap artist telling you this is what comes with the territory. Stop crying. Well. It's crazy. It's crazy. Diabolical. Sam said the long game had her checkmated. She went in thinking that she could get some money. She went as far as she could, not realizing the devil came calling for his 10%. Ishmael said the Harvey ended with Michael B. Jordan. Coincidence. Regardless of the shade, the white people, they're all black. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're I find it very odd out of all of the timelines that I've ever been able to at least be in or part of or at least hear about. This is the only timeline of which where I keep trying to see people say that, oh, white people are black too. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're off in a raft in the sea in the Pacific by yourself. I'm not sure if you're ever going to make landfall. Probably not. I'm not sure if a volcano is going to sit up there and get you. I'm not sure if it's going to be maybe like a typhoon, maybe some large waves or some sharks. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but you're not going to make landfall with this in hand. You're just not. We're not doing this. we're not. You're by yourself. Let me see what else we got. Ma said my hands may not be clean, but that video of him whooping her is pretty straightforward. Do they have the video of her chasing him down and beating him? Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like I said before, nobody is innocent. Nobody is innocent. Like I don't understand how it is that people talk about equality, and I'm literally making the situation as equal as possible, that both parties had a responsibility and both parties were consenting and engaging in everything that took place. And somehow, some way, you guys are still trying to make a victim. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. You know how many times I done seen women end out in shootouts because they were dating a drug dealer, and then y'all want to come out and still sit up and say, oh, she's a victim. No, she's not. She's a willing participant because she seeked out a relationship with a drug dealer and she wanted to be a part of that fast life, a part of that power, a part of that money. But y'all want to still run around and call women like that victims, knowing the fact that they ran to those guys, knowing the fact that they are seeking them out. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? This is why a lot of y'all daughters out here are lost. This is why a lot of y'all daughters, and I see them all the time, going for the wrong types of guys. And then y'all still come back, oh, they're a victim. What? Huh? What? Oh, my God. Jesus. Jesus. Third Eye said, we heard some women say it's better to cry in a Benz than cry in a Honda. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's some crazy work. Gail said one of Diddy's aliases was Frank Black, and she named her first son Frankie. Let that sink in. That's diabolical. Diabolical. D Money said when Diddy gets out, there'll be another Cassie right next to him, and the same for R. Kelly. Yeah. Like, I kid you not, like, there are women just sitting up there waiting their time. They're just like, yo, I'm not going to sit up there and be like her and complaining and crying and all this other type of stuff. Whatever I got to do to sit up there and make sure that my life is free, I'm doing that. Like I said, Young Miami was right there up until things started happening. Then she was like, up, I'm dipping out. I'm dipping out. I'm not going to say nothing, but I'm dipping out. Everything that took place and happened, I'm keeping my mouth shut. And she did that. And she's good right now. I'm pretty sure she is good at this moment in time. Like I said, I don't know the last time that Young Miami has actually came out with a record, but she got money though. I wonder how that is. Like I said, crazy work. Sham said the trophy wife life is not for me. That mansion would have a garden, some pigs, and chickens living in them. I'm too country for that kind of life. This man third eye was like, yo, prove it. Because I think somebody did say there was like a billionaire in chat, and third eye was like, prove it with a 200K super chat. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Dorsey said the NWO used animalistic impulse of men to strip them of wealth and power, child support, alimony, and alike. Kinsella said, I'm too cheap to hit the button. Ka-ching. It's crazy. D Money said, yep, both parties were heavy users and had no control over their actions. Yeah. Yep. Sham said, oh, you talking to go? Let me see. Yeah, M9 said that's right. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Yeah. Gail said, does she have any walls? Oh, wait, I forgot. She can afford V rejuvenation. Yeah, that's true. Yo, I finally made it down there. Shout out to Ishmael. What is up for we're going to round it up to a $5 donor. Much love, respect, and appreciation. You said a little paint there where it ain't. Salute to the chat. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Sham said, I'm comfortable wading in the river. Simple living of a simple girl like me. It's like quiet and drama free. The rich life ain't what people think it is. Mr. Dorsey said, women can't live with them and can't sleep without them, but I am willing to try. Ishmael said, geez, a part of the job. So I wonder what Nikki had to do. Diabolical work. Hey, it'd be like that. Nikki, I mean, she might not have had to really deal with as much as Cassie. Like I said, she was with, Young Money for a while. And, some things may have taken place or happened, but it probably wasn't to the extent of where Cassie was. Like I said, it's different money brackets, different things that people require, and all this other type of stuff. So, Mahoko, what is up? What is up? You said, hey, Seji, happy Saturday. I don't think Cassie as a victim when it comes to these freak offs. Yeah, same here. D Money said Cassie don't care about Diddy's wife while she had her spot. Oh, that's a great point. And that's the craziest part. That's the one craziest part that a lot of women and other individuals want to consider Cassie to be a victim. How was she a victim when she was knowingly sleeping with somebody who had a wife at the time? How does that work? That's still a victim? Huh? And you know that this dude is actually, he's in the public eye. It's not like this is a secret billionaire. His life is in the public eye. You can research these things. That's some crazy work. Cassie, this man said Cassie didn't care about Diddy's wife while she had her spot. Diabolical work. But even with that, women will still say, what? Cassie's a victim. She's a victim. She's a victim. Okay. All right, you got it. Crazy. Ishmael said, hold up, wait, she beat him down. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. And usually if things do happen in relationships when it deals with men, like let's say that, any interpersonal IPV does happen within a relationship. A lot of guys ain't about to sit up and report that or talk about it. It is what it is. The main people that happen to talk about it, that want to bring it up, are women. Women can literally do the same thing, if not worse, to a guy. I'm talking about like using like knives, bats, all this other type of stuff. A dude would just like shut up about it. It's all right. It's whatever. A little scuffle would not happen. It's, it is what it is. We ain't gonna dive too deep because there ain't no reason to do it, right? Let women tell the story. They're telling everything. And I'm like, so how are you going to be stating everything, but you're not going to state the things that you did specifically? Crazy work. Like I said, how people portray themselves as victims. It needs to be studied. Gail said nope, but they have text transcripts of her threatening to have him no longer exist. Ooh, that's crazy. I gotta, look up some more stuff on these trials. That is crazy. She's trying to pull a El Chapo. You think you want to threaten Diddy and get away with it? That's crazy. That is crazy. D Money said, do people realize Diddy is not on trial for hitting Cassie? Yep. I don't think people do, but Ishmael said, be careful, Seji. Allegations of victim blaming coming in hot. Yeah. Valerie said Cassie Ventura sold her soul to the Diddy. She was his personal star at those freak offs. Third Eye said, don't talk the talk if you're not going to walk the walk. Hit the super chat, folks. That is bars. Straight bars. Straight bars. Mr. Dorsey said, on the minicraft carrier, Jeep carrier, I would use the hangar below the deck as a casino, stage, restaurant, but the living compartment would be rented for 4 hours if you wanted to sleep / stay home. Got you. We got another troll directly in there. What else we got? Y'all will talk about anything but serious issues. This is why I love people like this, because he said, bro, no one even cares about y'all will talk about. Yeah, you just repeating the exact same thing. The crazy part that I love about people like this Jackson person, is that we can, if you clearly go, matter of fact, let me do it myself, right? Let me go in the back. Let me open this up and see what the time looks like, right, in the upper left hand corner of the live stream, right? So let me see if it actually tells me. Yeah, so even if I go and look at my own live stream, it tells me in the corner that we've been live for 2 hours and 41 minutes. But the clown of clowns that decided to show directly up, Kakarot, you are a clown, right? The clown of clowns decided to show up and wanted to state that we'll talk about anything but serious issues, even though we've already talked about some serious issues. Diabolical work. That's crazy. Like I said, it's funny how people just pull up to the scene and just announce themselves as idiots and decide not to even do any research. You can be an idiot, but at least do some research. You got 2 hours and 41 minutes, or I'm sorry, 2 hours and 42 minutes worth of footage, and you opt to lay claim to the stupid comment that you made at this moment in time, which is clearly highlighted, that you regurgitated quite a few times in my chat. That's some crazy work. It's either you are stupid or you're willfully stupid. Either which one, you're still stupid. And you decided to showcase that stupidity to me and everybody else here. Wow. You made no sense in anything that you stated in your incoherent rambling at any point in time. As a matter of fact, not only I, but everybody else is now dumber for now having listened to it. You get no points. As a matter of fact, I will take off a point directly from your team. That's where we're at. That's crazy. Mr. Dorsey said, to be honest, that V reconstruction is lame. They sew up the entrance, but it's still a cavern. I dated a woman that had this procedure. It's like entering a rabbit hole and finding a yo, let me oh, that's crazy. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. And you know the funniest thing is, I might have to look up the stats on that. I would love to see what would be the stats on that type of reconstruction when it deals with the United States, the percentage of women that actually had that done. I would love to actually know that, because I feel like those are stats that need to be known. And I'm not trying to hear people like, oh, but you got a lot of women out here that have kids. Nah, 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 nah. Because even when you've had women that have had kids, you know, things have still been all right. This is vastly different. Like you're sitting up here telling me that you're getting reconstruction because you had kids at the age of whatever, and now you're trying to put yourself back to you're trying to turn back the clock. Nah, buddy. Nah, 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 nah. You're turning back the clock for more than just those reasons. You're trying to make yourself brand new, born again. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. You know, like I said before, it comes to, you know, a point in time where you no longer have a canal, and it's you know, breached past the river. Now it's an ocean. Sometimes it's like that, and you just got to deal with it. So you got to sit up there and find more specific guys that may be able to deal with an ocean. It just be like that. Or better yet, you might just have to find an inanimate object that will match up with where it is that you are currently in your womanhood. That's all it is. Don't sit up here and decide to get some surgery to sit up there and lie. Nah, nah, nah. That's some crazy work. Because like I said, all of that, let you have another kid, all of that work is being undone real quick, and it's probably going to be brutal. Because again, your body wasn't supposed to be going through that. Once everything is changed, it is changed. That's the way that it was made. You're trying to reverse engineer some stuff. Like I said, people will figure it out though. It's like that. It'd be like that. Ishmael said, coming on another man's live and complaining about the discussion is wild. Yeah, it is. It's 100% wild. 1000%. 1000%. Like I said, you know, stupid is as stupid does. And stupid gets highlighted on this channel because we got time. We got time. Dorsey said Maria had the procedure after she divorced her millionaire husband after she had 6 of her big-headed children, but you know, everything was sagging and destroyed. Ooh, that's diabolical. That's crazy. Sam said, nah, it's supposed to go back when you exercise and eat healthy anyways. It breaks like that, it means you are doing some unnatural stuff. Yeah, be like that. Gail said, damn, Seji, ouch. Wait, what you talking about? Yeah. What you mean, ouch? What just happened? Seattle said, yo, chat, what is good? Nothing much. Just sitting up here talking. D Money said, Kegels can't fix everything. Yeah, that's true. They cannot. They can only do, you know, so much. You know, it can only do so much. But like I said, it'd be like that though. You know, if only a lot of people would actually be honest, directly, you know, with themselves and everything like that, you know, things would be different. Sham says you out here breaking hearts and feelings. No, I'm not. I mean, hey, look here, it'd be like that. Like I said, this is the way I sit up there and put it, right? Every man is not built for every woman, and every woman is not built for every man. That's how it works. That is how it works. Like I said, I've been with women who have had kids, and there was no problems there. There was no problems, you know, no types of issues, no nothing like that. So I'm not sure, you know, what specifically is happening or, you know, or taking place directly out here of the now time, of the now, you know, generation. Not sure what's happening or going on. Let me see what else we got. Rabbit said, I just finished watching Invincible, and The Asian girls really got the extraterrestrial Caucasians question if they want to be a colonizer. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. What was it? What y'all say? They. Oh my goodness, Gail is hilarious. Obviously I can't post that one. Some women out here stretching longer than a dirt country road. Gail said you keep reminding me of different things. That's crazy work. It's crazy work. Sham said, LOL, y'all kept this conversation too grown for me. First of all, Sham, you a whole grown adult. Whole grown 6 foot adult. Country, I might add, as you stated in the chat there. Seattle said macaroni and cheese sounds. Yeah. Macaroni and cheese sounds. Yep. That's what it'd be like. Be like extra cheese. Sham said, can we talk about video games? Oh man. You know the funniest thing? Normally, I swear to goodness, that would have been like Tippy saying something like that. So now, because I don't know where Tippy went, I thought I could have sworn she was here earlier. So now Sham is basically taking over for Tippy at this moment. It was like Sham said, yeah, this is too grown for my chicken nugget and mac and cheese self. Oh my goodness. Sham's like, y'all got me over here blushing. I was waiting for Mo. I'm like, yo, this conversation been going on for so long, and I ain't seen nothing from the silent assassin himself, Mo, and this man pop up into the comment. Of course, this man with the comments. This dude right here, crazy. And this is why we cannot show comments directly in the on the live stream. Man, oh man. For a brief second, I'm like, yo, Mo was in here. Let me highlight. I'm like, Mo started up. I can't highlight that comment. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't highlight that here. Seattle said, where is Mo? No, Mo is here. Well, it depends on what channel that you're looking on, but Mo is writing comments. Yeah. Can't highlight those. Let me tell you, can't highlight those. D Money said, throwing a tic tac down the hallway. That man crazy. Sham said, I'm still trying to figure out what a camel toe is. I'm scared to go. This is let me help you out. This is you got to just go to a just better yet, because you got your own cell phone. Just do it that way. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You have a private browser. There you go. That's how you do it. Go incognito. That's how you do it. Matter of fact, Sham, you won't even have to do that. You could probably just look at some videos on TikTok of women working out, and you will see something that you should not be able to distinctly make out and see if somebody is working out the way that they say that they're trying to work out. Like I said, you got fields of women on TikTok doing this. Crazy work. Knowing the fact that you got young, impressionable minds directly out there, they want to show themselves for whatever reason. Crazy. Seattle said, free my boy Mo, he trapped in a box. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Dorsey said, I got this one and I call it the wall, the plank. This man crazy. Let me tell you. Oh man. Yeah, see, Gail got you. See, Shan was like, oh my God. Wait, what'd you say? Oh my God, why? LOL. Wait, are you talking about Gail's explanation, or are you talking about what I said about incognito? But yeah, if you're talking about what Gail is, and everybody else is basically described, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You got a lot of women on TikTok and social media that tend to do that, because I literally have a video, and it was this girl. She is in a parking lot. Her friend is filming her, unbeknownst to her, and she's wearing, of course, the what is it called, jeggings or the leggings, whatever those workout pants are. Um, she's wearing those pants, but she's trying to roll and pull them up so that when she walks directly into the market or whatever it is, that the print is clearly showing. And I'm like, what are you? I'm sitting up there looking at her. I'm like, dog, what are you doing? This is obviously, if you got to keep trying to do this, it's not meant to be. Like, you're trying to get some attention for like no reason at all, which is crazy. Obviously, the attention is lacking everywhere else. And the friend was recording. She was like, "What are you doing?" And then the girl would just like kind of drop down, like, "Oh, like what you talking about?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's crazy." I'm like, "You're literally trying to prep yourself so you can walk into the store like that." And the crazy part is, I've seen, kid you not, you can see stuff like this during the summer. You'll probably see stuff like this in Walmart and a lot of other stores, because a lot of women like wearing those stretchy type of pants for that varying reason. And a lot of those women are not wearing underwear. Trust me, I done seen them. A lot of them are not wearing underwear, and that's crazy to me. I'm like, you got kids that barely come above your waist. So before they actually look and see you, they're looking directly at that. I'm like, can we call the police? Can we call the FBI? Can we get Chris Hansen directly out here? Like I said, no, it's crazy out here. Dorsey said, and yell out land ho. Yo, this man is going straight pirate out here. That's crazy. D Money said, yo, what's up, Moose Knuckle? Gator Lips, crazy. He said, remember, I'm a USMC vet, so we talk like sailors too. Yeah, I got you. Sham said, okay, I'm just gonna hide my hand in the D Money said, show the video, Seji. Some of us want to. Nah. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I got people in the background waiting to sit up there and just try to hit me on something. Nah, I ain't about to give them no ammunition. Not at all. The only way I'll do it is if I happen to like put up a blur screen, then I'll do it. Like I said, I did that with some other videos as well too, and those were completely fine. That would be the only way that I would actually do it. But that'd probably take me a little bit, because I gotta try to make sure everything lines up so we ain't missing nothing. Gail said, I don't want to be sized up like that. Miss me with that. Dorsey said, I respect the toe, but an elephant hoof is. Yo, the craziest part is, I know all of these descriptions. It's like, as soon as people say it, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's crazy. That is crazy. Sham said, doesn't that hurt or itch? I don't know what to tell you. I would not know. I would not know what to tell you. Sham said, don't answer that. Let me just hide in the pillow. Third Eye said, I refuse to talk to women who wear jeggings, leggings, and stretch pants in public. Bring modesty back. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I said, people need to actually like wear some type of clothes, trying to take the easy way out. I'm like, that don't make no sense. I understand that. All right, if you just coming out from like working out and stuff, I get that. That's cool, whatever. But it's like you're just starting your day like this and you don't even work out at all. Like, come on now. It's like, that you sitting up there wearing that off to basically give yourself the best look possible, even though you say that you're out here out and about and you're not even trying to go for no attention. When you left the house, you checked yourself as a woman. I know you checked yourself multiple times before you went out. Then when you went to the car, you checked yourself multiple times before you got out of the car. When you shut that door and you looked at the side, mirror that you got, you checked yourself again. So like I said, can't nobody sit up there and fool me with this. I done grown up around women. I don't know too many women, and I done seen this enough times. I haven't seen stuff like this in high school. This is why I take so much time for a lot of girls to actually get back to class, because they're trying to make sure they look right, because the guy, their crush, is directly there, or some guys that they want attention. Like I said, it's crazy. It's diabolical. Gail said, Seji, not wait, quote, take the easy way out. I'm hollering. Dorsey said, I apologize to the ladies in the audience, but it's Saturday. Yeah, it's true. It is the weekend. It is the weekend. Sham said, I wear the jeggings, but under the sundress because no. But see, that's different though. That's different, Sham. You're doing that because you know that if you wear a sundress, the wind can happen to blow or something like that. I get that. Trust me, that's 100% fine and dandy, and I respect that fully. I have a problem when you got women out here wearing these types of flimsy dresses and you know it's windy and you know anything can happen and you opt to not wear any type of like Spanx or something. I'm like, that is crazy. And then you got some women out here that be walking just free as all get out, free as a bird. And you know that there's wind out here, or you know that your dress is not managed to the point where it's coming down to your ankles, and you decide to get the lowest thing that is at the bottom shelf of which you know you should be grabbing for. Like I said, I even cover videos like that. Like I said, it's crazy work. So like I said, I respect the fact that you acknowledge that, yo, I'm wearing a sundress. This is something I like to wear. Let me put some other pants on so that everything is fine and dandy when I go out. That's cool. No problem. See, Apple says sundress is it. That is bars. Third said women have work husbands, grocery store clerk husbands, gym crush husbands. They know they wearing it for them. That is facts. That is 100% facts. 100% facts on all of that. But you'll have a lot of women that'll sit up there and say that they are doing everything for themselves. Like I said, Nicki Minaj, she was one of the main ones. She was like, hey, the women dress for themselves. They don't dress for men. You're a liar. How do you think that you got a husband? How do you think that you had the many boyfriends that you had? Like I said, if you weren't dressing for men, then you would be dressing for women and you would actually be with a woman. But Nicki Minaj is not. Case in point, her name is Minaj, which means three, but she is just with another person. Correct? Like I said, people like to play games. They want to play these mixed signals. And Nicki Minaj is one of those people that also, along with Katy Perry, made certain types of actions directly out here fine and dandy. Like I said, Katy Perry, I kissed a girl and I liked it. I never in my life seen so many girls come out of nowhere to get attention, to just either quote that or to like randomly do, like, it was, like I said, it was a crazy time. Anything for attention. Anything for attention. Doris said it has double chins, and you know I ain't lying. That's that's crazy. Oh man, that is crazy. D Money said, I respect it, but I don't like it. Is it sundress season yet? This man. Basically, yes, it is sundress season. What was that? Let me see. What was it? Seattle said, oh, he responded to Gail. Gail says you critique sundresses, then says what Seattle said is bars. I just can't. I'm still a guy at the end of the day. I don't know what you want me to sit up here and say. I mean, what do you want me to? What do you want me to sit up here and do? Like I said, I'm honest, Gail. When I happen to go through, what is it? Social media, I happen to see stuff directly out there. I might throw a heart directly. I'm like, that looks nice. I'm like, yo, the way that the light is, the artistic. Again, it's the artistic point of view that women have when they decide to sit up there and take pictures. The artistic point of view looks great. Looks great. Like I said, the dresses and and everything. The way the sun is basically hitting, even though we know that people be magically putting on some random baby oil or cocoa butter. And I'm like, ain't you at a restaurant? Why are you so shiny at a restaurant? I'm like, hey, it works. You got it. Hey, it be like that. At least I'm honest, Gail. At least I'm honest. Seattle said, real recognize real. Yep. Rabbit said, Seji, I don't understand why some mothers go through that phase when they have the preteens. I have 4 neighbors showing her cheeks around 12 and 13-year-old boys and get mad when we look. Yeah, that's crazy. And this is I'm going to put it like this, right? I figure this the exact same way when I see some of these women saying that they're teachers and the way that they're dressed. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, all right, cool. I get it. You do have a shape and all that other type of stuff. But I'm like, dog, like your dress is like, it is tight. It's like I could literally I'm like, why are you even wearing that? Like, we can't just have like teachers, female teachers just can't wear like normal clothes. And it's not like it'd have been like you know that you're teaching boys in your classrooms and you decide to wear the tightest thing. Even when I was younger, if I had an attractive teacher, I was looking at that attractive teacher. When I went to Halley Middle School, right? This is Detroit. We had, I forgot her name. Was her name Robinson or something like that? I forgot. The woman, she wore heels, so I want to say she was probably like 5'5", 5'6". I want to potentially say if she was not wearing a double bra that she might have had some work done or maybe naturally gifted, right? And then you could also see her butt as well too. The clothes that she would wear, they were presentable, but I'm like, I know that you're doing this in order to get attention because it wasn't just me sitting up there looking. The teacher that I complained to y'all about that I said that I disliked because of a comment that he made, Mr. Johnson, he was sitting up there looking directly at her. Right? Other male teachers looking directly at her, coaches looking at her, the male student body looking directly at her, and she knows this. So, like I said, this is how I know, like a lot of women, regardless of them saying, like, I'm not doing this for attention. Yes, you are. Because if you weren't, you would just roll up out of bed and go do your normal day, stank breath and everything. Right? You would do that. Men do it all the time because we don't care. If I need to just wake up and just go directly to the market, it is what it is. I might just spray on some Axe or whatever, and then after I'm done grocery shopping, I'm coming home and taking a shower. We do stuff like that because we don't care. We're just trying to go to and from. We're not trying to get prepped and prepared. Oh, let me go to the grocery store because I might see somebody I like, or I might see somebody that look kind of fine, and I might try to catch a. Nah, we don't. Man, I'm just trying to get my groceries. I'm trying to get in, get out. That's it. We ain't focused on none of that. We ain't focused on no attention. This is why you see a lot of dudes. They will literally come in with like some busted shoes, some gym shorts, and a hoodie, and they got the hoodie directly over their face. You can't even see who they is, and maybe some headphones. They head down and they just up there going to and from and just shopping. We ain't worried about whatever the women that's there. We are not worried. We are not worried. Now, on the other hand, I can't tell you how many times that I've seen women, even with young kids. I'm talking about they got 3 to 4 kids directly in the market, and they're dressed to get attention. I'm talking about you got 3 little boys, but yet you wearing the tightest pants possible with the tightest shirt. I'm like, man, what are you doing? You got sons. What are you doing? I need you to do better. Like, what are you like? You're still out here shopping when you already have 3 bags. You got 3 sons, you got 3 bags. You don't need no more shopping. You need to stop. You just need to relax. But you know, it'd be like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me go back up here. Let me see. D-Money says Sandra season yet. Let me scroll down. Dorsey said, I love women in any form, but my tolerance to delusional behavior is very low. That is facts. I'm right there with you on that. That is 100% facts. Third Eye said, I can't tell you how many females of various ages would come into the grocery store where I worked part-time during my college years, came in and tried to flirt with me. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Gail said, I must still be a tomboy. It'd be like, well, see, you know, the funniest thing is, I don't even know. She wouldn't even like watch this. She don't even know what I'm doing. Anyways, there was a girl that I knew. She was a tomboy and everything. Beautiful. She was smart and everything. And this was back when I had went to a private school at a moment in time. All black, mind you. I'm just gonna say call her JoJo for short. Beautiful, cute, had the green eyes, everything, and whatnot or whatever. She was a straight tomboy. Like when I sit up there and mean that the girls would be off like trying to do, let's say, like hopscotch or stuff like that, and the boys are playing like basketball or playing like football or something like that. JoJo would come over there with us, and she's up there playing football. She's up there getting like dirty. She's up there trying to do, you know, like the backflips and all this other type of. That was the thing that attracted me to her. I'm like, word? I'm like, you into like the exact same stuff? I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know, that type of thing. So again, I'm not speaking for all guys, but you have guys out there that find things like that attractive. Like if you ask a lot of dudes out here, would you be attracted to a woman that knows about cars and how to fix cars and that would actually want to work or build a car with you? You would have some guys sign up real quick, like, yo, where's she at? Sign me up real quick. Because that's attractive, right? Because you're used to women be like, they want to look at Zeus Network, or they want to gossip, they want to do this, they want to go out with their friends and all this other type of stuff, and you know, whatnot or whatever. So like I said, there is nothing wrong with tomboys directly out there. I sat up there and had one as a girlfriend at a moment in time. I knew another one, but that was when I was playing basketball. I told y'all that story before. I don't even know what happened to that girl. That was like, it feel like eons ago at this moment in time. But she was dope though. She was dope though, and I respected the fact that she played. And I showed my respect back by playing the exact same defense that I would play directly on guys. And she was still there. She was bumps, bruises, all of that. Like I said, I respected the hell. I hope I would love to know basketball. Because that would be dope. Because let me tell you, because if she did, I would sit up there and buy her jersey. I would be a fan. Like I said, I respect women out here that's interested in different things and don't be sitting up here crying. Like I respect that, like 1000%. Dorsey said, I dated a woman that was 6'2", 350 in Mississippi Delta. I loved her dearly, but I got tired of climbing over the 6-stack mattress and rolling downhill. It's crazy, diabolical. 6 stacks? That's crazy. Six. I've never seen that. Now I seen two. I seen two. 6. I probably would have like broke a leg or something. That's crazy. Apple said, "Yo, even Studs can get this man crazy." You pulling that Kodak Black right now. Dorsey said, "I loved her dearly." Shout out to Big Brenda. We're gonna give a shout out to Brenda. Not sure if she even knows what this channel is, but Mr. Dorsey is shouting you out. Aubrey said, "Isn't that what you wanted?" I guess he's talking about Dorsey. Also said, "That's how women are portrayed in America. Have you looked at the ads?" Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. Again, shout out to the big girls. Big girls are beautiful. Like I said, I can't speak for all men directly out here because we always have the loud few that be like, no. I'm like, I don't got no time for that. Like I said, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. And if you got guys out here that love women with weight, let it be that. You know. What else we got? Sham said, "I don't know. It's a habit for me, but since a little kid, I brush my teeth 3 times a day, then bathe before bed. I dress when I go out, but at home it's jeans and a shirt." Oh, see, that's cool. That's pretty much normal. That's the same thing that I would sit up there and tell people. Like for me, well, that's because I like shower though. You sit up there and take like 3 showers. I don't think that's a lot or problematic or also OCD-ish. I just like showers. Showers are dope. You know, just saying. So I figured that to pretty much be within the exact same realm. And the funniest thing, Shem, I was the type of person where I had a toothbrush in high school, had a toothbrush and mouthwash directly in my locker. Because you know how kids and everybody are, like everybody thinks that they breath don't stink, but when it's you, it's like, oh man, it's like this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So this is what I'm going to do. But then once I had the mouthwash directly in my locker, I had other people like, oh, you got some mouthwash? Let me get some of that real quick. I'm like, dog, you killing my mouthwash. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I needed everybody else to turn their locker into a CVS instead of just coming to mine. Crazy work out here. Dorsey said, and to the ones in the yoga pants or some gym shorts running around like Shannon Sharp with the man, that's crazy. With the man purse, that's crazy. Oh, you talking about the dudes? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that'd be crazy. There's videos directly out there where you got dudes that want to sit up there and dress in Spider-Man, one pieces. And I'm just gonna leave it as that because I'm like, dog, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, there are obviously kids direct. I'm like, that's the type of stuff where people should be getting punched. I'm just saying. You should not be a grown man deciding that you want to walk out the house like that, knowing what's happening. Right? Like that's like you're doing too much. Like I said, the women are doing too much. You as a guy, like, dog, throw them in jail. You had some black dude on TikTok doing it. I'm like, dog, that's bro, you're disgusting. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you need to be locked up. Like this ain't even funny. The dude walking around, he's like, yo, bro, like, why you laughing? Like, what's so funny? He's like, I don't even like, dog, go to jail. Somebody call the police. I'm not trying to hear that it's just a prank or whatnot. Like, yo, brother, that's crazy. That's crazy, dog. Because I promise you, that same dude, he wouldn't be trying to do that in Atlanta. I promise you that. He wouldn't be trying to go to San Francisco and try to do that either. He wouldn't be trying to do that in Tel Aviv. Like I said, it's crazy out here. It's crazy out here, man. Mo says something I find cold-blooded are the bras with the nipples built in. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's some crazy. Rabbit said tight clothes is one thing, but wearing see-through clothes is a whole nother thing. I had a teacher wearing a sheer thin white pants with a thong underneath. We were 12. Yeah, I've seen women do that. And I'm just sitting up there looking. I'm like, so you didn't know that we were going to be able to see this in the light? You didn't know this? Like I understood this back in the 90s when that was like a thing where everybody was, not everybody, but when you had people doing that. I'm like, man, nobody's gonna tell me that they just don't know. You're not gonna tell me. It's crazy. See, Apple says, Seji, you lose the game but won the war. That's crazy. D Money said, let me get hands on a tall glass of water that has a jump shot or a mean jab. Yep. See, Apple said 35, 36 in a few days. Third Eye said, and mows lawns. Yeah, I've seen very few women that actually do yard work, to be honest with you. And I know some women that were homeowners, and they were a part of the rare few that would actually be out there doing stuff. He said at the time, Sham said, yeah, I did this too, because the school pizza makes your breath stink. I always had gum too. Yeah. Yep. Mahoko said, wait, you were saying that dudes are really out here wearing Mike Guy and Rock Lee One Piece tights. Yeah. Like, dude, when I tell you, like, some of the videos on social media are just like disgusting. It's like, yeah, I mean, just that, like, that's crazy to me. I'm like, dog, like, are you really got to seek attention like that, bro? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, you are a weirdo. Any guy that does stuff like you are a weirdo. You are a weirdo. Like, nobody needs to claim you. Like you're on some other side of like the universe or something, and we need the intergalactic police to intervene because that, like, yo, that's some criminal behavior. That is some real criminal behavior. Like, police needs to be called whenever dudes like that pull up to the scene. Like, that's, like I said, that's crazy to me. You could be anywhere else trying to do this madness. You opt to be out there in public where you got families and kids. Like, this is, like I said, I'd be losing hope. And again, that was somebody from the younger generation doing that. Somebody from the younger generation doing that. That's why I be saying sometimes I lose hope in humanity. Seeing a lot of stuff like this. It's crazy. Let me see. Sham said, I hit the gym, but my gym workout is swimming 3 days a week. 2 days, I do strength resistance. It's great to keep in shape, and it helps with depression. Bars. This man, Mo. This man right here. D said, women doing yard work. Yeah. That is dope. Third eye said, matter of fact, I need to go exercise. See y'all later. No problem, brother. Much love, respect, and appreciation for being here. Snippet reading your comments. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All these comments are hilarious. Sham said, if I do that swimming, I'm drowning. Stop playing with me, lol. Ah, oh man. Oh my goodness. That's why I gotta stay out of the comment section. This man Seattle said, "Hey auntie, this man crazy, hilarious." Let me see. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay directly on task. Stay on task. Let's do that. I almost actually hit the wrong button just to let y'all know. But yeah, pretty much that was it. My people, that was pretty much it for the live stream at this moment in time. Thank you guys for being here. We've been here for about a good 3 hours and 19 minutes sitting up here talking about a variety of topics, irregardless of the clownery that just so happens to, pop up every now and again from the randoms, dealing with the topics and everything of that nature. But much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to any and all people that are currently here and that have been here for the longest time possible. What did Dorsey say? He said, old women in Florida be cutting grass when their husband is a trucker. Hey, I mean, well, that's down south. It's a little bit different. Women down south is, a little bit different versus like up north. Up north, women don't technically really do yard work like that. You may see some. The most you may see them do is plant flowers. But other than that, cutting the grass, spending about like a good like 45 to an hour cutting the grass and doing like the edging and stuff. Nah. And if there is a possible chance of them using any type of heavy tools, like maybe like some shears or like some edges for like the bushes or shrubs or something like that, they're doing that in the early morning. You'll find them at like 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 o'clock, because 10 o'clock, depending on where you are, it'll start to get, warmer. Sun is beaming. It's high up there. For me, I'm up there from like morning, afternoon. I don't care when I'm doing it. Like it's therapeutic. You sitting up there, playing your music, you sitting up there working, and then on top of that, you sitting up there sweating out, the toxins or the impurities, out of your body. Your skin is getting, clear and stuff like that. So for me, it's whatever. When it's hot outside, it's great. You get to just sit up there and just like you're sweating for about like a good 45 or an hour or whatnot, whatever. Everything is great. Let me see. D Money said finding a lot about this chat today. Yeah. This is you got some little remnants of the chat that used to be from some earlier years. Gail said peace and love. Sham said you playing a video game today? Yeah, I'll be on there. D said I enjoy your shows. It's like being on a group call. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Again, you can also go directly to the Discord. It's not really as active as I would love it to be, but some people be there every now and again. Every now one of these days we'll get the Discord moving and different things like that. We'll get it going. D Money said I got to do some yard work tomorrow. I used to be hyped on doing yard work. Well, I also got paid for doing yard work, but I was also hyped. Well, I also did neighbors' yard work as well too. So I would edge and trim and and stuff like that as well too. Because shout out to my boy Chris and to the Thomases. I used to do the yard work directly over there. So like if Mr. Thomas, who is my boy Chris, his dad, if he was tired or whatnot, whatever, I would come through and I would, do like the yard, cut the grass and and stuff like that. that's what I would just so happen to do. I would also do the shoveling as well too. Like I said, for a lot of my friends, I respect, their fathers and and everything like that. And for me, I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, you've been doing this for like, longer than I've been alive. So I'm like, yo, you take a rest. Let somebody else, handle the weight and, manage and pretty much do that. Sham said we almost had 2 tornadoes touch down the day we were playing and you had to go. I was praying so hard. Please don't touch down. See, I told you everything was going to work out, Sham. I told you. Gail said, yard work is the best workout ever. That's facts. That is facts. Dorsey said, I know I am a sick puppy, but I had a ball. Vogel said, thanks for the stream and stream ad, brother. Hey, no problem. Rabbit said, Seji, what makes us lose hope is the Gen Z black kids not knowing the history of the word. I've seen black YouTubers call black children that word. They're going to do it up until they mature and they realize the seriousness of it, and then only then will they go back on what they said and be like, you know what, I was wrong for doing that. So let me move better and all this other type of stuff. Trust me, I've seen it quite a few times with social media. Sham said, I saw 2 funnels forming in the sky, but they never came down. So I was thankful that my house was spared. Mo said, Seji, the landscaper, always getting that trim. This man. Dorsey said, they ride lawnmowers like go-karts in Florida. You see the lawnmower race, you remove the blade, makes a good tractor. Yeah, like the funniest thing is I always wanted one of those sitting lawnmowers or one of the standing ones, because that's how big the lawn that I had in Detroit was. Like back when we had the house, that's how big, because we were on 2 lots. And we had a large lawn in the back and we had a large lawn on the front. And whenever I was able to cut that, I would cut diamond patterns directly in it. And I would also edge it up. And I would literally see people, they would like slowly drive by and just look at like the lawn. And people would like compliment my grandmother when she was alive during the time, like, yo, your lawn looks nice. Who did your lawn? And all this other type of stuff. And she would let them know who did the lawn. And, that's how I would start to, do work at, around other people's houses and whatnot. Dope stuff. D said I couldn't access the Discord. Wait, how come you couldn't access the Discord? Are you talking about you couldn't use the link or what was happening? Hold on, let me see something. Because the Discord is open. I don't think it's gonna rev up my computer too much, so it should be good. Matter of fact, let me shut down CapCut. Let me just do that. Let's make sure. Then I gotta put up Discord, so it's gonna take a little bit. I can hear my graphics card trying to rev up on me. And it really shouldn't be. All right, so we are good. Now I gotta go back. Okay, I got some messages I gotta look at. Oh, gotcha. Go to the Discord. All right, so to who's that? We got 3D. So I got you. That's the Discord right there. So that is the Discord. You probably got to like make a name, then you got to do the whole thing with the email, password, and all that type of stuff, confirm and whatnot or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty much it's empty. It's a barren land at this moment in time. So it'd be like that. that's the best way I can sit up and put it. I mean, D Money came in there. Back in April, we got a few. We got Shan, we got D Money in there. We got C Apple. We got Sagwan in there. We got OG Cali. We got some people. Up in there and whatnot. We got some things going a little bit. C Apple said I used to use it a lot till I got some knowledge. Then I started calling people king or sister queen. Okay, I got you. Dorsey said you can actually modify your riding lawnmower to plow your garden. Some very good information. I will remember that the next time I happen to get my hands on a very nice lawnmower. What was it? Oh, Gail sitting up there laughing at Mo. Yeah, that's crazy. D Money said Discord ain't a Diddy party yet, but one day. Oh, nah. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. You ain't about to see me hemmed up in no court cases. We're nah, buddy. Nah, buddy. Maybe back in my day. No, I'm playing. But no, we're not doing it. No. We ain't doing it. Man. Then we got C Apple asking questions. That's diabolical. Let me tell you. But yeah, pretty much that was it, y'all. We've been going for about 3 hours, 31 minutes. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to all people that are still currently here at this moment in time, and to a lot of y'all that might just stumble upon the video if y'all make it this far. And shout out to anybody else, as D Money will say. Shout out to the regulars. Shout out to all of my mods. Shout out to anybody that is a member of the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to all of my patrons and anybody that is donated by way of the live chat. Also donated by way of Cash App or anything like that. Much love, respect, and appreciation. I would not be able to do the things that I do every single day if it were not for people like you. So shout out to you guys. And again, like I said, I always love doing these live streams because I get to interact and talk directly with you guys. Sham was like, as long as you don't take white people, you good. Wait, huh? Wait, Sham, what does that even? Wait, what? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what Sham is even saying right. That's crazy. Mo said, you gotta tell said, that's crazy. This man here. D Money said, what's your favorite brand of man? I can't even read these comments. I'm about to be out. It's like the moment of time that I start reading these comments, it just get worse and worse and worse. It's crazy. Diabolical work. Crazy work. Man, that is some crazy work out there, let me tell you. But I will happily say that I'm very proud of Gail, because normally Gail will be horrible in these chats. She has grown. She is a better person than previous years. I'm proud of you, Gail. Doing a great job. Stay the person you are. D Money was like, hold on, Sham Tape. What did you? That is crazy. Dorsey said, you ain't diddy nobody, LOL. Yeah, no, we're not. Not at all. Sham said, stay safe, eat well. I'm multi. She heard been ducked out of that one. She was like, I ain't about to catch me in nothing. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we out. That is it. So everybody, Sham was like, I'm hiding my pillow again. Hilarious. So again, for everybody, much love, respect, and appreciation. Go out there and have fun. It's a good Saturday. What time is it? It's about 6 o'clock. Yeah, go out there. Go out there and eat. Go to a restaurant, order some food. Go to catch some of the new movies. Directly out there. Get your feng shui in order. Hit a quick exercise, 1 or 2 or something like that, and enjoy your weekend. So again, shout out this man Mo. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody, and peace out.